Welcome, clobberers, to Saturday Night Soundtrack here on Clobberin Times, the the We Network. I love that. Oh, welcome, my dear friends. My dear friends, good to see you. Let's see here. I believe we have our first officer here with us tonight. What do you think? The wonderful R.M. Briggs, Commander. Welcome, number one. Thank you for
I'm
so much for
here.
being here.
I'm here. I'm definitely here. I would never, ever, ever miss this night because I get to be with my Star Trek soulmate and one of my best friends in this whole wide wee world. And then I have this magnificent community. We have the best chat. We such nice people, genuine people who have genuinely become our
Our
friends.
dear friends,
So
absolutely.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Thank you so much for being here. It is wonderful to see you. And of course, as you all saw at that there, my wonderful first officer, there's a link in the chat right there, has works of science fiction. And again, the link is not only in the chat, but it's constantly in my description below. And welcome, my good friends to Saturday Night Star Trek. Good to see you. People, some friends are already starting to pop in here. And let's see here. We will start our hellos to
Oh, the
them.
brainiac guy that likes all the weird, obscure stuff about Star Trek and knows all this obscure knowledge like I do. That guy, he's here again. I like that guy. He
That
came
guy.
back.
That's Scotty. I know Scotty's popped in to some other shows as well. We're going to say all kinds of hellos to all of our good friends. Don't get me wrong. We're that's what I was partially getting ready here. Let's see here. Uh, boy, that's weird. The counter is crazy tonight.
Yeah, I know it does that. It does weird stuff. It's like 40, 30, 2,
Nuts.
50, 20,
Yeah,
2.
yeah. You got me. Oh well.
Scotty says 1,200 quatloos.
Yes. But you're all here tonight, and it's so great to see you all. We love Saturday Night Star Trek. We look forward to it all throughout the week, and we of course have four more exciting. Well, you'll be the judge of that, I guess. Episodes of Star Trek TNG for us all to review, and we shall indeed. But first, what we will do is because we love it when our friends show up and love to hang out with you all. You're just amazing. We appreciate you all for being here tonight with us. So we're going to start as we always do by shouting you out, friends who were here. And then, of course, we end it the same way because we just, without you guys, hey, it's nothing to it. It's nothing to it. So, starting out, of course, uh, well, a lot of great friends are here. We will start out with our crew. Well, they're not all here yet, so we'll wait till they get here. Rest of the crew, we hope will pop in. So we'll just do it. We'll just start with whom we have. How about that? We'll start with who's here. One crew member is here, the great LT, Lord Thoth, brother,
And Mrs. LT. Good
and
evening,
Mrs.
LT.
LT. Yes, indeed, buddy. Avon lives, long live the Legion, my brother. Good to see you.
I would just like to say Avon does live. Avon does live.
Indeed, the great Avon. And yes, folks, not all of us, but at least I know uh, number one here, and our good buddy J Man. Shout out J Man. What's up, buddy? Have gotten have finished Blake 7, so we're getting close to that point where we're going to get to that big Blake 7 show. Um, until then, we will. But I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about it. I want to do that show right now. Except we're doing Trek right now. Before we get started, let me just say thank you to Mr. Tickle Trunk for that $5 Canadian super chat. You are too kind, my friend. Very generous. I appreciate you lurking tonight. Wanted to drop a few loonies into the jar for Clybone and gas money, or a couple of Tom Hortons coffees. I'm listening. Have a good night. Well, you have a good night, Mr. Tickle Trunk, as well.
We
Thank you,
love
sir.
you. Thank you so
You
much.
rock.
And what he meant by loonies is that's what we call our dollar up here because there's a loon. There are loons, a couple of loons on them. So he's just saying I wanted to drop a few dollars into the jar
Okay.
for Timmy Hose. So some coffees.
Gotcha.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, you're going to be missed this evening. I love your sassafras. So you have all these sassy, great comments, and I'm going to miss your company, but I'm glad you're lurking. And thank you so much for supporting our channel and our show. Mwah!
Thank you so much, sir. The great Raymond Feliciano is here of King Dolphin TV. Our navigator, he tells us that our wonderful friend Sandra, his better half, will not be here for a couple of weeks, and I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm sure
Oh,
she's out doing something important on a
yes,
special mission. And
yes,
Sandra, Raymond, please convey our love to Sandra.
yes, for sure.
And thank you for that, brother. Good to see you here. So let's see. The Comic Relief Crusader. Hello there. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you.
Evening.
Phantom Outsider was a man. It was a big man. Oh, sorry. Different song.
Phantom Outsider.
Good to see you, Phantom Outsider. J25. Good to see you.
Hey, J25.
Mr. Angel. What about it, Chef? What we got?
Chef.
What is for breakfast?
What's cooking, baby? What's cooking?
What's cooking? The Catman, a.k.a. Didi Myers. Hello there, Catman. I hope you and your family are doing wonderful, my friend.
Yes, and the
Wonderfully.
missus. Please smooch the missus' face just on her cute little left cheek for Clobby and I in the whole chat. Welcome, Dee Dee Myers.
Welcome indeed. Max the Great, as in Max the Great, Redstone, Tin Credit Touch. What's up, bro? And I did see, please, I'll ask number one now. Please help me remember. We have some, looks like we have some limericks. I have not got the chance to see them yet from the great Max. So, Max, thank you, buddy. You're too kind. Everyone loves them. They went over amazingly well last week. They were just fantastic. You do great work, buddy.
Quality.
Big time. Enigmatic Drop Bear, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here.
The erudite bear. That bear is going to drop the mic tonight. I predict Enigmatic Drop Bear will drop the mic.
Michael Beacom.
Hey, evening, Michael.
Welcome.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Michael Beacom. Thank you for being here. The great Kal-El, the super one, indeed.
The
buddy.
real soup, Michael, Stephen M. The real soup. Evening.
Evening, buddy. Pleasant Valley Picker. Good to see you. Snail Messiah, my good friend. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Evening.
The aforementioned Mr. Tickle Truck again. Shout out to you. Wow, we have
some tickles back. Just
We-
lots of tickles. Tickles.
we have the Scuba's Pete here, Mr. and Mrs. Wonderful Mrs. Scuba Pete, and a little bit less wonderful Scuba Pete, because let's face it,
Pete!
he married up.
Leslie!
He married up from what?
They're here. The Pete's are here. Crack the champagne.
From what I understand, Pete married up, but I don't want to drop any. I don't want to spread any untold rumors there. Just saying, Pete. I don't know, Pete. That's what I hear, man. Just putting. I don't know who started that rumor. Maybe it was me just now. I don't know.
Oh, Pleasant Valley Picker says, I need a missus to smooch. I'm alone and lonely. Oh, Pleasant Valley Picker, you're not going to be alone tonight, BC. We are sending a huge hug to you, and we're going to be great company tonight. I promise, okay? Just stick with us, and I'm sorry you're lonely. Let's try and chase away those blues. Let's hang out.
Yeah, Pleasant. Look, I'm in the same boat, buddy, but tonight I'm not because I'm with my friends, just as you are. So,
LT heard the same rumor about Scuba Pete.
We're starting some scuba rumors tonight. They did marry up there. Mrs. Scuba Pete endorses that rumor.
She does. Oh, she's great fun. Spitfire. This lady is smart and funny and cool to be around.
And our other wonderful crew member, our communications officer, the amazing anti-derivative Jill. Hello, Jill. Lovely to see you. We love you, Jill. Thank you for being here. Eric Carroll, welcome again. It's always great to see you here.
I'm saluting you, fine Irishman, from one Irish person to another. Doffing my cap.
Indeed. JT Kirk, buddy. Hey.
Hey.
Good to see you.
So good to see you.
Another wonderful friend, Wolfie762. Another longtime friend of the show, Tyrell72.
Nice to see you, Tyrell.
And a great new friend of the show, and a spiffing bloke, Scotty R37. Scotty. Hey.
Scotty. I love Scotty. Scotty's great. Whenever I throw out like super obscure facts about Star Trek. He has my back. He's like, yeah, Scott's great.
I hear you there, Pleasant Valley. Well, look, I've been single for 25 years, man. I'm 26, 27, somewhere up in there. Who goes counting? I'm good. Not saying you should go that long. Let's say for me, look, I'm invincible. The great Steve Mitchum is here. Maddie's daddy, my fantastic friend.
Kiss Maddie for us. Smooch your whole cute little, exquisite, gorgeous little supermodel face.
Apollome's minion and
Pupper, the pupperoni, the great truck dog.
The great Just Joe 47 Jobber Buddy. What's up?
Yo!
And I have anyone else who pops in. I will take note. Let me see if I got everybody. Maybe I missed someone. Let's see. No, got those. Got those. So far, so good. Anyone else pops in, though, I will definitely take note, and we will shout them out accordingly. We will break in and shout them if we have to.
We'll do it.
Do it. But right as it is, I think I guess we're getting right where we should go ahead and get ourselves started. What do you think? Number one.
I read Ree.
We read Ree, everybody. So as for those who do not know, we are reviewing all of Star Trek. Of course, none of this poppycock that is under the auspices of Star Trek these days, with this fake Trek drivel by what is that? Bad reboot, secret outhouse. Those smelly old things. No. None of the filth, as we call it. We only respond to the real Star Trek around here, the 735 Club, don't you know? 1966 to 2005. The only real deal Trek, no filth here. You want filth? Go to CBS All Assholes. But asshats, and you'll find plenty of it there. But none of this filthy trash over here. I've never stressed it enough, my darling Ice Miss.
I don't know who this guy is with this monocle that is introducing our show, but the man with the monocle, I think he should be welcome here all the time. What do you think, folks?
I don't know. I don't like him. I don't dislike him, but I don't like him. I sort of in the middle of hating him and liking him and not liking him. I don't know what I like or didn't like anymore. I think I'm just going to give a good review to every episode tonight. From now on, I will not give a bad review to anything because I sat through some filth lately. Anyway, so what we do here, of course, folks, is aside from me doing annoying crap like that to chase people away who just pop in and go, "Oh my God, what's that?"
Not annoying. We love it.
We hate it. We know it. But you're being nice. That's all nice. We, my wonderful first officer, references. We have 4 episodes for you tonight, by the way, and they are True Q. This is 6th season. Rascals, A Fistful of Datas, and The Quality of Life. And I promise to stop talking. I'm doing it on purpose. I guess it's because I'm. Wait a minute. Let me do it in the voice that if it were 30 years later and on the Filth Network, the way Picard would be doing. Well, episodes this evening. This is Patrick Stewart, and I'm 95 years old. Star Trek, The Next Generation, 4 episodes. Q, you little bloody bastard. No, not that Q. The actual real one tonight. Oh, sorry. I watched CBS All Assholes, and never mind. Let me see. I'll go back to bed and let the adults do the show for the evening. Sorry, but please watch Star Trek Petard on. Oh dear, I forgot the channel again. Oh, I'm so silly. Good night, everyone. I'm sorry.
Love it.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. We're in season 6, and I will now turn it over to my wonderful first officer, and you can throw all the fruit at me this time instead of her. So tell us what we're all about and what we're doing.
Well, the boss is right. We cover 4 episodes. We do it every Saturday. We have a heck of a good time together. This isn't formal reviewing, folks. We're not going to do a scene-by-scene thing. We don't do that around here. What we do is we come together as Trekkies, hardcore Trekkies, to talk about these episodes. But we need a format. Otherwise, it just turns into chaos. So as we romp through the 735, and right now we're on TNG, we're using a wonderful text. And if you're joining us in the live chat, you see an image of that text right now up on the screen. It's Star Trek 365, The Next Generation. It's written by Paula M. Block, prolific Star Trek writer. She gets a little bit of help from her husband, Terry J. Erdman, but he's riding second chair here. Sometimes he rides first chair. He has his own books. So these two are well known to the Star Trek universe. And of course, this book, it says Introduction by Ronald D. Moore. And it's quite evident that the book has received the blessing of everyone involved in TNG. And that's what makes it such a good source. Rather than going to user-generated crap on the internet, which, people just submitted, and it's, most of the time it's not true. Instead, we get verified stuff here, and we get a little summary, and we use that to riff off of. Clobby and I talk about the episode together, then we give it a rating, then we do something really special. We throw it to our chat. We ask our chat to not only rate it, but to leave a very short comment about the episode. And then we throw them all up on the marquee. Now, we're still able to do that because, there's only 20, 40 of you in the chat at any one time. So we're still able to do that. We're going to continue doing that because we enjoy it so much. And if you're getting a picture in your mind here of how this goes down, your picture is probably correct. It was all Clobby's idea. This idea that we would meet somewhere, like the cafeteria at a con, and we'd sit down and some of us would have a beer or a pop and French fries and gravy. And we'd all be talking about the con and we'd digress into Star Trek and stay there for a few hours and just enjoy ourselves. And that's what we're doing here. So it's a bit review. It's a bit shooting the breeze. And it's a bit of just having fun, clowning around, and just being a bunch of great nerds and geeks together. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and maybe a few snacks, maybe some M&Ms, and let's hang out.
Well, I'll tell you what, since we do have that special guest here, Mr. Poopy Stew, I will let him introduce each episode just before the fun of it. Because, you have to treat your guests well and be, it was nice enough to show up tonight. Hey, wake up. He fell asleep. Sorry. Poor old lad. So I will let, okay. I'm going to have our guest, Mr. Poopy Stew, introduce the episodes.
I have tea in my mouth. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, boss, but guess who just walks through the door? I'm blowing bazillions of kisses at one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Chris Persia is in the house. Everybody, say hello to Chris.
Hey, buddy. Good to see you, bud. All right, here we go. All right. No, I'm sorry. Mr. Poopy Stew, would you please announce the first episode? Tonight's first episode review is... let's see, it's Q True. Oh, no, sorry about that. Yes, number one, make it so. It's engage. Let's engage with first episode of this evening. True Q. Go ahead, and I'll just be right over here if you need me. Go. Thank you, Mr. Patrick Stewart. Let's go. All right, go for it. Number one.
Can you call an orderly to change his diaper?
Sorry, he's on the way.
Sounds uncomfortable.
He's on the way.
Yeah, guys, the boss is right. The captain's correct. We're on True Q, or as I like to call it, Bewitched with Tabitha on the Enterprise.
Oh, sorry, I was taking Jeannie. You got to be right back.
This is season 6, episode 6, and we all watched this for the first time. Well, most of us did on November 1st, 1992. So I'm going to go ahead and read from said text. Let's stay copyright compliant. I'm just going to say it again. I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Bloch. And
sorry.
Yes, I saw that.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I'm going to be reading extemporaneously. And that's another aspect of the show that you should know. Claudia and I do not discuss the ratings or the episodes before the show. And I don't pre-read the readings. And the reason for that is I want it to be organic. Let's have a conversation. There's no point in staging it all. We're all just Trekkies here. So let's let it happen organically. So if I make mistakes while I'm reading, hold your fruit. If you throw fruit at me, I will kick you in the shins.
In fact, we might take on secret hideouts approach next week and just not even watch the show. They don't. So. Good. Anyway, good. Go for it.
They're super fans.
They love it. They have a super fan in their office that blows nice air. Anyway, go ahead.
They do have a super fan. It has cat hair in it. Okay, let's do it. New intern Amanda Rogers is smart, pretty, and tremendously enthusiastic about her job. But although she appears normal,
Amanda has some unusual abilities that she's kept to herself. After she's forced to reveal her secret in order to prevent a warp core breach, Amanda receives a visit from Q, who rocks her world with the news that she's a member of the Q Continuum. And the Continuum thinks it's time for her to, quote, come home or else. Q was not my thing, admits writer Renee Echevarria. I didn't live and breathe it like I did the other elements of the show, but I liked this particular episode because it had a different spin to it. The character Q had a mischievous and maleficent presence, but it was more about the girl and her journey. It had elements of Bewitched and so she did bring up Bewitched. I guess everyone feels that. It's so obvious.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess.
and an adolescent coming into her own and becoming empowered and all of that good stuff. And a really lovely performance by Olivia D'Abo.
Double. Yeah.
D'Abo. Okay, so there's another tile. Shall I read it, Captain?
Go for it. Sure.
Okay, so let's be copyright compliant. I'm now going to be reading from page 279. Let's see what it's got to say.
D-Bud, what's up, brother?
D-Bud, nice to see you, hon. Oh, and I think that our wonderful friend Scuba Pete left you a gift.
Oh, yes. I was just waiting. Okay.
Look at
Thank
that
you,
beautiful gift.
Scuba. Thank you so much for that. Amanda just reminds me of our friend Katie. Yeah, she does sort of. She's a lovely actress. I love the actress, that actress as well. Olivia Dabo, and I love her sister as well, Mariam.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it, folks. Scuba Pete.
That's right.
You're
She was
so
a Conan the
generous
Destroyer. That's right.
and wonderful and cool. And I just love you and Leslie. I love your whole family.
Not
Thank
only
you so
was
much for being friends with us. You're a cool
she's
cat,
amazing.
Scuba.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, not only was she in Conan the Destroyer, she was on our buddy Doomcock show as a guest a couple of months ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's roll. True Q was my first episode on staff, Renee Echevarria says. The pitch came from a 17-year-old high school student. Oh, that was in my nose.
Oh, damn you. Damn it, Renee.
Damn. The pitch came from a 17-year-old high school student named Matt Corey. I remember picking up the phone and calling him saying, "Hi, I'm a writer on Star Trek." I'd gotten a call like that just a few years earlier, so I was thinking how excited and happy this guy must be. Today, Echevarria is a highly respected writer and producer who's worked on shows like Deep Space Nine, Dark Angel, The 4400, God, I love The 4400, Medium, Castle, and Terra Nova. God, I love Terra Nova. But back in 1992, he had a lot to learn, and one of his first lessons was how different the job of a staff writer was from that of a freelancer. It was my first time seeing a script all the way through, he recalls. Sitting in Rick Berman's office and getting his notes, going to a production meeting for the first time and realizing what things cost and the resulting choices you'd have to make. Just beginning to comprehend what it takes to make an hour of television. It was an eye-opening moment. And now, he adds with a chuckle, it's a lecture that I give young writers all the time. At the time, The Next Generation cost close to $2 million per episode. When you hear that, a number like that, you think, that's a lot of money. Why are we sitting here counting how many phaser shots the episode has? Here, Echevarria slips into the hypothetical conversation that he, as an experienced producer, might have with his younger self. How many phaser shots are in a script? It looks like are in the script. It looks like about 12. Well, each one costs $3,000. Okay, well, I didn't know that. Each phaser shot on Star Trek costs $3,000.
Yeah, because the effects unions, because the unions fees for everything is so ridiculous in Hollywood, it made everything expensive back then.
But that's interesting, hey? And the production staff turn around and reply, you can have 6.
Wow.
Back then, he notes, young Renee would have said, $3,000? We've got $2 million. I didn't understand that just to shoot for 7 days on the set and pay the rent and pay everybody involved, just have the things we have every week, the film and the camera, the craft service table, the secretaries, everybody that needs to be paid to make an episode. and nothing extra. That alone represents maybe $1.8 million, which means your real budget is only about $200,000. And with that, you have to build any new sets, which might cost you $50,000. And you might want to hire a guest star, which will cost you $10,000 and do all the effects. You begin to realize that there is a reason why an extra doesn't get to say, "Here you are, sir," when he hands something to one of the regulars on the show. The extra just nods, because if he spoke, you'd wind up paying him $2,000 instead of $200. That's what the budget was back then. The next generation was on, Echevarius says. It's more now. Today, shows are north of 3 million. Still, even today, we're guessing he wishes he could have had more phaser shots. And that is all the block text has to say about Bewitched Q. What did you think of the coverage? And what did you think of the episode, boss?
Well, first, shout out to our great chief engineer, Mark D with a C. He's out there. He's recovering from a long trip, but he's saying hello. And good to see you there, bro. Glad to have you back. Chill out. Take it easy. Take doctor's orders. Says take a little time off. Do a little furlough. Have a wee bout of shore leave. And we're here for you. Yes, I think Mrs. Kravitz. Oh, I'm sorry. We were really talking about Bewitched for a second. No. Not one of my favorite Q episodes, to be perfectly. And again, I think our good friend Pleasant Valley, I saw him mention that he's not a Q. He didn't like the Q episodes. He's annoyed by them. I'm the other way around there at Pleasant. I'm a fan of Q when handled well. Obviously, I didn't like was it Cupid either. I didn't like that one. I like him. I didn't find this to be a particularly compelling story, because of some of the dumb things in it. Mainly, for example, we're supposed to believe all of a sudden, just for convenience, that Qs can murder other Qs. All it takes is for them to put them in human form and then have a tornado jump on them. And they gave up their powers, I guess. That was a little shaky for me. The whole look, she was a young woman, and I know number one won't like this, doesn't like it much. She doesn't like Johnny Fakes. She was gonna, but for the whole story just seemed unnecessary to me. But if she was gonna fall for somebody, why'd you have to make it Riker? Just make it some young
Why
dude.
the Decker unit?
Yeah, I mean, make it some young dude she's working with, and so it didn't need to be Johnny Boy, but it was still kind of rings hollow anyway. Of course, she's a very young woman, so that's one thing. I just found the whole. I mean, I love her. Good God, I love Olivia Daba. I think she was terrific, and she's wonderful. I just did not find this to be a particularly compelling story, one way or the other. Am I really angry about it? No. I just found it just kind of this little. Every time one is not really, really terrible or really, really good, it always falls into the filler category. Like, well, you guys got one made and you filled up a bunch of time and you showed it on TV screens and the characters did stuff and said things and it was just kind of hollow. I mean, it's kind of where I am.
Eric K were here, he has a word for that. It's a word Eric and I share. It's meh.
Meh. It's meh. It's meh-ish. Yes.
Meh.
Kind of meh-ish for me. Nothing really particularly stands out. Nothing profound. Again, it's always good to see Delancey. I mean, I really like him, but and I love her. And there was one of the cringiest scenes ever, though. That crap when she brings Riker to the whatever planet,
gazebo.
Yeah, to the gazebo. But, oh, I mean, and look, yes, he handled it fine. He handled it the way it should handle it, but it's just like I don't know. I couldn't get in. That scene really turned me off. So yeah, if Wesley had been there, she probably would have found. It probably would have been Wesley, Phantom Outsider.
Barf.
You laugh, Phantom Outsider, but they probably would have been Wesley if he'd been on the show.
Yes,
I'm not kidding, because she's like what? She's 18 or what? Yeah, it would have been him instead of Riker.
He would have been crushing all over him. It would have been swoons and sighs.
Yes,
and all of us barfing.
Yeah. So don't have a lot to say about it. Just don't care about it a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, me neither.
So, number one, presume with your notes, but
Well,
Lord Thoth has this to say. He said,
I protest. I am not a merry man.
well, you know what that means.
that's me
LT
about.
didn't like the episode.
So, what you got? What you got in your notes there?
Well, yeah. So if you're wondering what the boss is talking about, the captain is talking about my notes. I was wondering, what can I contribute to this program? I watch Star Trek every single year in chronological order, starting on January 1st. What am I doing here? So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll do notes. So these
Notes.
are my notes that I
Notes.
take with an actual pencil and an actual piece of paper. Let's
Yes.
do it.
We have a theme song for the notes, folks. It's notes. It's Raquel flying around Space Dock with the big notebook instead of the Enterprise there, looking at her big notebook. Notes. Sorry, I'm not going to sing it. Here we go.
Pew, 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 pew. All right. So I put story idea was submitted by a high school student named Matthew Corey. It is widely reported that he wanted the role for himself. And so one can naturally assume that then this was not supposed to be Bewitched. The production team turned it into Bewitched because if Matthew Corey is to be believed, he wanted to sort of play Wesley for a
Q
day.
type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I put Gates McFadden finally ditches all of those hair inserts and extensions for this episode. It's nice to see her real hair. Then I put Amanda holds the tricorder upside down. Yeah, why do they always hold the tricorder upside down? Stop doing that.
Omnipotent.
Shin kicks.
So much for her omnipotence.
Yeah, if you're so omnipotent, shouldn't you know which way the tricorder goes? And then I put the idea of a young girl losing her reality via a tornado in Kansas is a little too close to the Wizard of Oz. Moreover, the Samantha from Bewitched gesticulations are a little over the top. Stop moving your hands around like that. You look like an angry Italian grandma. Other than that, I said there is some weak dialogue, but it is an enjoyable episode that is a pleasure to watch again and again. So this isn't like a science fiction thing for me.
Yeah.
It's just one of those episodes that pass. But there have been so many stinkers, so many
Agreed.
rotten eggs that you're just so happy to have one that doesn't really elicit joy or rage. Do you know what I mean?
I've had plenty of those, so yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is one of those for me. So I tell you what, how would you like a Max Redstone limerick
Dun dun dun
for this
dun.
episode? But are you ready for the true Q Max Redstone limerick? Redstone
Drum roll,
limerick?
please. Drum roll,
All right.
drum roll, please.
Okie dokie, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Max Redstone. Before we get into giving our reviews of this one, I'll tell you what, we'll do that. We'll let everyone be doing their writing while we do that. So, give me your rating of True Q. I'll give you mine, and we'll get that.
It probably could be lower, but I'm not offended. It's C plus.
Okay, no, I didn't really care much either. I got it at a C. C for Catwoman. So now, my friends, I will ask you. I'll give the word. You can give us your rating of True Q and any comments you may have. And while you're doing that, and while number one is starring those for me, I will read the limerick from the great Max Redstone. Who's Redry?
Redry.
All right, here we go. A new intern comes aboard the Enterprise. She's a Q to everyone's surprise. But she's kind of a piker, head over heels for Riker. The puppy and cargo containers will certainly fly. Well done, Maxer. I like it, buddy. Never disappoints.
I'm
Amazing
clicking them
stuff.
all now, folks. I'm clicking them all. Clickety click, 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 click.
Well, everyone, I would start reading your reviews right now, but I was eating an M&M, so I had to. But now, there we go.
Listen, M&Ms are a tradition on this show. You should all be eating M&Ms.
Yes. All
And
of
it
you
doesn't
should.
matter whether or not they're wearing tennis shoes or stilettos. Eat
Quite
those
frank-
M&Ms.
Quite frankly, if those of you who do not have M&Ms, I want your agonizer right now. All right.
Where are my pain sticks? Did I put them on the counter? Let me go get my pain sticks.
Get them just in case there. Scuba Pete says B-. I think he means minus. Amanda's parents were killed by a Q-NATO. RTM. It's a twister. It's a twister. Can we talk about the real disaster, Perma-Troy's hair? Oh, yeah. I think I remember what you're talking about. I didn't really. I think, yes, she had some terrible hair in that one or whatever. There you go. Pleasant Valley Picker says C+. The thought of Qs murdering each other is disgusting. Aren't they supposed to be higher beings? They did have a civil war on V'ger, so that takes this episode way down. The actress was good though, not memorable. Surrender, Dorothy. Yes, I hear you there. Thank you. I hear you there. Let's see.
Toto. Toto.
Scotty R37 says, I give it an outrageous O'Connor.
I thought you'd like that one.
Outrageous.
No rating. Love it, Scotty.
JT Kirk says, the cute girl and puppers, the puppers were great, could fool one into thinking this episode is better than it is. Excuse me. I clicked my ruby slippers 3 times saying tornadoes for Wesley, tornadoes for Wesley, tornadoes for Wesley. Well done, JT Kirk. Love it.
Oh, God, I love JT. JT, I missed you all week.
Yes, JT. Eric Carroll, C+. I like Q episodes. Well, I do too, generally. I mean, I like it again. And he's always, Delancey's always great. So, I mean, he's fine in the episode, but, it was more of a focus on the young lady, and there's nothing wrong with focusing on Olivia Dumbo, I'll tell you that. But
yeah,
I just didn't think it was much of a story. So.
Yeah, if the story were a lot stronger, and they didn't, unabashedly go after Bewitched, I think a lot of people would give this an A, because it is a real stinker, but nobody gives it a truly horrible rating because it's not offensive. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not good.
I hear you. I'm pretty much there with you there. The Catman, aka Diddy Myers, says, wasn't my favorite Q episode, but thought it was halfway decent episode. Didn't hate it, so I gave it a C+. Thank you so much, Catman. The great Lord Thoth, Avon lives, long live the Legion, brother. LT says, C-. This one is an okay episode with some weak story points. However, Q always breaks the show because of who and what he is. Dabo is hot, though, and so I forgive a lot, yes. Too bad she isn't a ginger. I love me some gingers, but that's okay. A lovely lady is a lovely lady is a lovely lady. So,
on behalf of gingers everywhere, LT, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Look, love me. Look, that's my family. I'm a redhead fan, no question about it. But she is a delightful, and not only is a delightful, actress and stuff. Again, not too long ago, as I said, she went and spoke with our dear buddy Doomcock and was an absolute delight on that show as well. So she's a sweet lady, very nice lady. C for Raymond and Feliciano, a disappointing story. Dabo raises it from a lower grade for Raymond. I can't blame you there one bit. JT Kirk, are the blue M&Ms Andorians? Yes. Yes, they are.
I had to star that. It's too good to pass up.
M&Ms and popcorn. No popcorn, but I have some peanuts. But these I have peanut butter M&Ms tonight, so that kind of handles it a little bit. Thank you. Yep, I do love me. M&Ms and popcorn are the greatest combination of things ever.
Ever.
Indeedishness. Mr. Angel, the chef, says B-. It's a Q episode. These always get a high rating from me. This is the Q I want to remember, not the one I saw in the film. Yes, not that one. That's totally not him. You said it. You said it, chef. The great Max Redstone, thank you again for the limerick, buddy, says C-. The highlight of this episode was seeing a Beverly Crusher turn into Irish setter. Yeah, that was funny. This also takes a great opportunity to build out the Q universe and treats it somewhat superficially.
Isn't
Indeed.
Beverly Crusher is Scottish though? She's not Irish, but I do like that they turned her into an Irish setter.
Yeah, well, I like doggies anyway, so I'm into to show a
Yeah.
doggy. I'm fine. Olivia Dabo is a great actress. However, in my opinion, Amanda's journey to to becoming a Q only takes place in and around the Enterprise. It feels very limited
Hmm.
for portraying such a limitless being. A very
You
good
know,
point, Max.
that's a sign of a good writer, Max, and I totally agree. Why not spirit her off to, some other planet? Why not go to Risa or something and just really drive that power and that limitlessness
Yeah, take her to a
home?
bunch of take her all over the universe for. I mean, there's no time has no meaning,
That's right.
and show her. So, okay, look, you can hang around, with Riker and on the Enterprise and do all that kind of stuff, or you get to do anything you want. Now, again, I'm not saying every person would make that choice, but he could have been a little bit more broad in his sales pitch.
It's so
Um,
true. And before we go any further, Captain, I beg your pardon,
mhm.
but I wanted you to know that our friend Mr. Grant Gregory just walked through the door.
Hey, Grant, what's up, buddy? How you doing there, sir? It is great to see you, and I'm honored to have you pop into our humble little show, my friend. Number 3 of Max Redstone says another missed opportunity is Riker's being used as a sex object, Crenzola, whereas it would be more profound for him to relate his own experience and difficulty when he was a Q. That's also a very nice point. Since he'd
Hmm.
been through it a little bit, they didn't even bother with that because they didn't even care.
Yeah, and you
The
think that he would be the one counseling her to make her ultimate decision, and how he settled on his ultimate decision, how he arrived at such
right.
a colossal decision.
Right. Certainly some mention of it would have definitely been in order, and they just
Hmm.
dropped that. They didn't. I don't know what their problem was on that.
Instead of, hey, let's go to the gazebo. I'm getting the
Yeah.
vapors.
And he said the right things and gave her the right words for the whole thing and all that. All that was fine. It was just so cringy. The whole scene that was set up. Then when he tells her, rightfully what and sets her straight, which was all fine and everything. But just like the scene's already got me good annoyed, so I don't care. The Q kills Q calls. Oh, the Q kills Q
Yeah.
calls into question the late Voyager episode Death Wish, where the Q continuum goes to any length to prevent one of their own from dying. Finally, can Q turn Troy into a pug? I,
That's what I
I
was
think
laughing at
I
earlier.
think it's already happened. And now, number one, I tell you what do we take care of our very dear friends, the enigmatic drop bear and our wonderful communications officer, and if you would be so kind as to do the honors.
All I can hear in my head right now is the Decker unit. Wait, do you have the vapors? We should go to the gazebo. Thank you, Scotty. Love you, Scotty. Okay, enigmatic drop bear. The erudite bear. The bear that creates very well wrought prose. He fills these marquees with mic dropping reviews. Let's do it! 1 of 4. He's given this sucker a C minus. This episode doesn't just have plot holes, it has a plot chasm. Deja Q established that a Q's powers could be revoked. Why didn't they just strip Amanda and her parents of their powers?
Yep, they've done it
2 of
before,
4.
right?
Yeah, exactly. A young lady, small dogs, and a tornado in Kansas that took said young lady away from her home. What could this possibly remind us of? Some inspired writing there. Ed. 3 of 4. There's
At least
also an inkling of hubris in a story that assumes 2 Qs would want to settle as humans on Earth. No kidding, right? Given the seemingly infinite possible choices available to a Q.
Plus, it was already done by the Dowd.
4 of 4. Amanda was a bit of a knockoff of Samantha from Bewitched. Your notes are almost identical to mine. We should have watched this episode together, ED. I love it when you and I do this. From Bewitched and Jeannie, nevertheless, the character was played well. And it would have been great to see her in a better developed story. Yeah. And the weird thing with her hands, like the fact that she moves her hands around like an angry Italian grandma, like my Nonna. My Nona's going to take the ship and put it at the end of the galaxy. It's just, she didn't need to do that with her hands. Why,
Now,
what can I say?
our wonderful friend Jill is next.
Anti-derivative Jill is our communications officer. She's also a fellow nerd and a fellow INTJ. And she's got a 3-parter here. And she's giving this episode a B. She says she provides a foil for a down-to-earth Q who doesn't have arrogance that her powers grant her superiority, except when she tries to date Riker, which she quickly realizes is a mistake. Who's Riker? You mean the Decker unit?
Like every other woman.
Yeah. 2 or 3. Crusher says, "You're a Q. You can do anything you want." She can't, except live as a human, apparently. It's unclear to me why the Continuum says the universe is your playground, but bans this. Yeah, I mean, what if you wanted to go be like a Regalian bloodworm somewhere or a Tarkasian razor beast? You should be allowed to do whatever you want.
Yes.
3 of 3.
That's what I want to be.
Yeah. Picard makes a speech regarding the hollowness of Q morality. I would add that Amanda has learned about this in a way no Q ever has. Qs are limiting themselves with this restriction. Yeah, just be like,
done.
no. I'm sorry, you're not going to limit. I want to be grass. I'm going to be grass that covers an entire planet. I want to be the sky on I don't know, some class M planet somewhere, really, really far away. Just really, pinwheel galaxy. Take me away.
And Jill also says, "I understand M&Ms take first priority. That is nothing truer ever said." Jill, thank you.
Wolfie
Wolfie.
says, yes, please make me a Parcheesian razor feast.
Wolfie also says, rating B-, baby Q, OMG, puppies. I like that they are trying to expand the Q a bit more here and not go overboard. Funny how Decker, the Decker unit is completely out of character here.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the first time since Star Trek the motion picture that we see someone standing on the outside of a starship. Pretty neat. Could be. I want to know where. I want to know more about this weather modification. That
Me too.
When do we get one? I think it'll be out next week.
I like how Wolfie points out the thirst, the hunger for real science fiction and these science fiction concepts that we want to explore. So rather than worrying about whether or not Samantha has enough puppies and she's wiggling her hands and tinkling her nose, sure would have been great to talk about how we can control the weather. Love it, Wolfie.
Indeedishness. On helping the doctor with the experiment, like the great Sherry Bobbins said, if you cut every corner, you'll have more time for pay. The satirical version of Mary Poppins from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well done, Wolfie. Thank you, Wolfie.
I agree, Wolfie.
So much. Kal-El, the Superwoman himself, says B+. This episode does a good job of allowing the audience to learn a little more about the Q and how such a society with seemingly limitless power can function, especially when it comes to let's see here. When it comes to how the Q dealt with those who chose to use their power but not reside in the Q continuum. Although Amanda Rogers' situation was certainly unique, her initial reaction to finding out that she was a Q was very relatable. The fact that she did give in momentarily to the using her powers to attempt to seduce the Decker unit, as well as later when she used them when she used them, let's see what. Oh, I'm sorry. To clear the planet's atmosphere, showed that she was still very human despite her being a Q. Well, not the best episode featuring the Q. It certainly wasn't the worst either.
Agreed.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that at all.
Captain, I just
Yes, ma'am.
wanted to let you know that I've started so that you can add it to the list of our welcome and goodbye list. But our good friend Mazarus just walked through the door. Everyone,
Mazarus.
say hello to Mazarus.
Hello there, Mazarus. Welcome. Good to see you. Let's see here. Phantom Outsider says C, which is incidentally the grade that the Q get when they visit the Phantom Zone. Ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. How omnipotent are a species that can fall for Decker units and be murdered by a tornado? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Why would you want a meathead like the Decker unit? Why wouldn't you go back in time and hang out with Socrates or go and learn from Plato or like I don't know. Why pick the Decker unit? I
Well,
mean, Phantom Outsider's right. Of all the men in the world, you pick the Decker unit?
I guess he was the closest. If it would have been me, I'd have gone after. I went to find Christina
Monkey
Hendricks.
Jesus!
Monkey James.
He's here.
Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. So anyway, if it had been me, I'd have gone after Christina Hendricks. But what can I tell you? So
Yeah, right?
So
You could blame
inexperienced
her.
Aditishness. So an inexperienced Q can stop a hull breach, but her Q parents can't sidestep a tornado. Well, I mean, if they gave their powers, I don't know. Just explain it if you're gonna. And still, it's iffy. But if you're gonna say Q's got killed by a tornado, then you need to concoct a good reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't give you much. They said a tornado killed him. We all know the Q killed him, and they just covered it up with a tornado. Fine, that's implied. So whatever. The tornado didn't hurt him. Q's killed him, but they weren't all that clear on it either. I mean, they were
Why?
like,
Because they like McDonald's because they wanted to be human and eat a Big Mac?
Right. They killed him for a dump. There's the thing. Them killing them. I don't know. They had didn't they have a Q civil war, and they were all having a big problem about killing other Q.
I was just going to bring that
this was
up.
before that, though.
Yeah, and they actually had like regular bullets, so they're regular
Right.
bullets, but Q basically says that the ramifications are tantamount to like the Big Bang. It's the tearing away of the entire
Right.
universe, not just the galaxy, the entire
Well, this was
universe.
before that too. Before they said it, way before that. Beezer.
Yeah, right. Scotty, honey, I'd hang with you too.
So an inexperienced Q can stop a hull breach. Here we go. They were trying for something, but they clearly missed. Q are so powerful, but it seems a sliding scale too. Hang on. That's your number 2 there. Let me get to your next one. Phantom Outsider. When she gets the 3, what? Oh, sorry. When she gets the with unlimited powers comes for. Oh, I think you mean the with unlimited powers comes responsibility speech. Maybe I was waiting for her to find out something bad just happened to her Uncle Ben having unlimited power. You'd think they'd perceive time differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the old joke of what's a million years to God? A second. What's $1 million to God? A penny. Asking God for $1 million, he replies, is a second.
No, in a second.
Oh, in a second.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble follow some of that there. Thank you, Phantom Outsider.
Got lots of good
Michael
things. There are lots
Bacon.
of good things to contemplate there from the Phantom
Outsider, buddy. Thank you. Michael Beacom says a C. Charlie X gets powers, vanishes people. Gary Mitchell tries to kill Kirk. This girl gets superpowers. She conjures puppies. Okay. So much wasted potential. Also, Q breaches
The warp.
Drive. Yeah.
The warp drive. Isn't
Kinda
it
guy
terrible? I love
Warp
Michael Beacom.
Warp core just to get their attention. Too much. Yeah. Full disclosure. Don't we all want to see Picard hit the comm button and say, hailing Dr. Bombay. We need you. Come right away. Yes. I once went to school with Dr. Bombay. Shut up. We don't know if you got Patty Stew. So, I'm sorry. Make it so. Go back to sleep now. Thank you, Michael Peakum. Let's see here. Mazarus. Hello, Mazarus. Good to see you. And now the caboose, I think. More deal with the sea, the great chief engineer, who says, B, fun to watch. Delancey is always great and knows how to chew the scenery as Q. Might have been better as a Twilight Zone type episode.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you there, partner. With some scare the living daylights out of you moments, Q. That's the other Dabo. Q, the other Dabo. Yeah, that's the other Dabo for Living Daylights, but I think you knew that. Mariam, her sister. But I caught you. Mark. Don't worry. And I knew what you were going for. I knew what you were doing there. This was a cookie cutter story with no real surprises, but so much better than what did someone call me? I thought you said I could sleep. No. Wait a minute. Go back over there. Right. Season 2, which put me to sleep this afternoon. Well, if you needed some sleep, it did you some good. There you go.
Captain.
Yes, amen.
You know who's here? Guess who just walks through the door?
Who? Hungry Boy.
Yes, Hungry Boy's here. Everybody say hello to Hungry Boy.
J-Man has to run. Good to see you there, bro. Great to see you, man. Good.
J-Man.
Take care, buddy.
So J-Man's seen to the you have watched to the end. You've seen the end.
Yeah, the Blake 7?
Yeah.
Yes, so then we have 2 of us. You and J-Man have seen all of Blake 7. And I'm very happy about that. Lee Anthony Davis, good to see you, my friend. So, yes, I've got a few more to go for a couple other friends to get there. Or one of them, I don't know. And he might not even want to, so we're not going to force him. But we're not spoiling anything, don't worry. I'm teasing him. I guess are we ready to move on to our next episode?
We ready.
All right. Shall I call in Poopy Stew to
yeah, you want to drag the old man out of bed and ask him to.
All right, everyone. Who's ready for our next episode for this evening, folks? Is I'm sorry. I can do it. I thought you were asleep. I didn't want to wake you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Pooper Stewart. It's Sir Patrick Stewart. He keeps trying to trick me into saying Poopy Stew, but I won't do it. I won't say Poopy Stew. So engage yourself. Make it so, you bloody American fat bastard. All right, good. Ladies and gentlemen, the next episode is Slack Rascals. I'm sorry. This was an episode where I didn't have to be there much because I was a bit younger. I think is the plot of this. I'll go back to sleep now. You just call me when you're ready for the next episode. Good. Sorry. Thank you, Patty Stew. Poopy Stew. I didn't call you Poopy Stew. She did. It's her name. Don't bitch at me about it. Jeez.
His name is definitely Poopy Stew.
Good Lordy.
Are we ready?
I'll ruffle. Scotty, are you heading out? Well, au revoir yourself, sir.
No, Sky's not leaving.
I think he was
I have a ship to run. Au revoir.
Au revoir. I guess he was quoting Trouble with Tribbles then.
Here we are.
He was quoting Trouble with Tribbles at me. Damn it. Well done, Scotty. Almost got me there. You almost got me. You almost got me.
One way. All right,
buddy. I thought he was just saying goodbye, but
he's marvelous. I love hanging out with him because he likes all the weird, obscure things that no one cares about that I care about. We're on Rascals, boss.
All right, Rascals. Let's see, with Alfalfa and Spanky.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Also known as Adam Nimoy's Little Rascals episode on Halloween. We're on season 6, episode 7. We all watched this for the first time on October 30th, 1992.
There you go.
Let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. Please turn your hymnal to page 280. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously. Let's do it! A transporter accident transforms P-Hard
Poopy stew.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were waking. He thought you were talking to him. Good. Sorry.
Row Keiko O'Brien and Guinan into 12-year-old children who retain the minds of their adult selves. After LaForge researches the situation, he determines the transporter can be used to safely bring the group back to normal. But before they can attempt it, the Enterprise is attacked by a group of renegade Ferengi who disable the vessel and announce that they're claiming it for salvage. If the premise, The Next Generation meets the Little Rascals, seems odd, imagine being assigned Rascals as your very first directing job. That dubious honor went to Adam Nimoy, who was happy to receive the TNG assignment, despite the prospect of working with 4 children. As a child, Nimoy, the son of actor Leonard Nimoy, thanks, had watched his father struggle with his chosen profession. My father never had job security when I was growing up, he stated in a 1994 interview. People who are always workaholics and then end up not working are not happy. Rather than face similar career instability, the younger Nimoy attended law school, but ironically, the 7 years he practiced law were anything but secure. Opting to specialize as a music attorney, he repeatedly fell victim to the volatility of that particular industry, rife with management changes and insolvency. Between jobs, he tried relaxing by sitting in on some acting classes and caught the bug. But not the acting bug. What he really wanted to do was direct. He went back to school, taking classes in directing, acting, writing, and film editing, and shadowed director Nicholas Meyer, or Meyer, whatever, during the making of The Undiscovered Country. The Undiscovered Country! When that film wrapped, Nimoy's father suggested he talk to Rick Berman, who allowed the ex-lawyer to go through, quote-unquote, Paramount University. It's not a real university. TNG's unofficial director's training program. Nimoy spent a year watching, learning, and listening. And ultimately, with Rascals, he was given the opportunity he'd been waiting for. On the whole, the effort was very successful. Viewers liked Rascals. And Berman gave Nimoy a second directing assignment later that season, Timescape. He went on to direct more than 45 hours of television, including episodes of The Practice, NYPD Blue, Ally McBeal, and the Gilmore Girls. He currently teaches writing, directing, and acting at the New York Film Academy in Los Angeles. And that is all the block text has to say about children wearing adults' clothing on a starship. What did you think of the coverage in the episode, Clobby?
Boy, interesting coverage there. I guess okay. All right. I hate to go all geek on everybody. This premise only works if you're into magic. For example, there's an excellent episode of the great Diddy and Tim Justice League animated series from the mid-aughts, called the Justice League cartoon that was called Kid Stuff, where the superheroes, the Justice League, all get turned into kids, but it was Morgan Le Fay and it was magic. This crap with the transporter is so stupid and so idiotic. It just makes me not even care about judging the episode, with any particular bit of professionalism, and just go, screw it. It's so silly. I watch it, and I guess I'm sort of entertained by the performances of the kids as the characters.
The kids are outstanding.
I like the kids. It's a goofy ass dumb story, and I can't take it seriously. It's not really science fiction. It is a little silly fantasy stuff, but I'll cut them some slack. It's mildly entertaining as a fantasy episode. It's just since they used magic, because they did the magic transporter. Here we go again. And they did. It's not science fiction. I can still enjoy the kids' performance and just watch it as a dopey, silly episode, and that's about it. I can't get that pissed off, or I can't even, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's just silly. It's silly, but I kind of like seeing the kids playing the character. I mean, I know it's weird, but it's
not weird. The kids are great actors, but the whole thing is a big, giant, poopy diaper. We need the claw bony.
it's a stupid, and another reason why it's a dumb idea is because it didn't just happen. It happened. It just so conveniently happens right before the Enterprise is easily taken over by Ferengi. By the way, easily.
Oh, I'm going to
Easily.
talk about that in my
Ridiculous.
notes.
So it's a good thing that our four of our key people get turned into a secret weapon for us when our dumbass Riker and dumbass Worf let the ship get taken over.
Mm-hmm.
So
I heat up.
yeah, Steve Miller Band. There you go. So it's entertaining, but it's so goofy. Anyway,
Yeah, it's got
so
a lot of
notes. Go for it with your notes.
Here are my notes. Okay, so this is a betrayal of Gene's Bible. Want to know why? Because this is too much like the Counterclock Incident, the original series, season 2, episode 6. This is the Counterclock Incident.
Except that wasn't magic. It was. But you could argue with some of the premise maybe, but it wasn't magic-y. But yeah.
Yeah, well, because at least that was like black hole. This is like just transporter. Okay, Screen Rant names this episode the second best comedy episode in Star Trek. I'm going to say that one more time. Everybody, do not damage your computers, your phones, your laptops. But I'm going to say it one more time. You can yell at your phone, what the F? Screen Rant names this episode the second best comedy episode in all of Star Trek.
Oh,
you know what I wrote beside it? Barf!
Even if you want to call it a comedy episode, there are way better comedy episodes.
Yeah, I know. Why is Guinan a kid? Guinan was born in the late 18th century. That means that she was born around 1775.
Oops.
This takes place in 2369. That makes Guinan 594 years old. You failed math. She isn't even a human. She doesn't even have DNA relevant to this puberty cycle. What kind of cockamamie bull crap is this? The O'Brien Keiko thing is so awkward.
That was weird.
Why are you doing this? I don't want to watch this.
Don't even make that. Don't even film that scene. That was really bad.
Just don't. Also, his wife was on a transporter, where he lost 40% of the group he was transporting, and he had no reaction. Captain, I lost 40% of their signal. Does anybody have a Pop-Tart? Anyway, so weird. And then I wrote in yelling all caps, transporter magic. Magic. And then I wrote, the Ferengi took the Enterprise via a boarding party that they called an assault team. Since when are 6 Ferengi an assault team? The Ferengi did this with Klingon ships.
They could have overpowered them in 2 seconds. I mean, you got security all over that damn ship.
Where is Starfleet?
So stupid.
I would also just like to say, you know how he talks so bad about Gene Roddenberry, and he says all that crap about him. It's the one thing I don't like about him. But you need to know this, all of you. And don't ever let him forget it. Ronald D. Moore helped write this. That's right. He helped write a story like this, where Starfleet and all the adults on the Enterprise are completely incompetent. He wrote the transporter magic. He wrote all this crap, 6 Ferengi, Klingon ships. He wrote this poo. Somebody, fire up the clawbony. Captain James T. Skywalker just walked through the door. James T. Skywalker!
Hey!
Well, That's all I have to say.
Well,
the suck is hard.
Yeah, it's just it's a dopey story. You just did it, so I don't know why you did. Why you green like this one? I guess they think it's cute.
The
I don't
kids
know.
are cute, and you know what's worse? You know,
Their performance, they get
worst
good
thing about
performances.
this is those kids are incredibly talented kids. Like I think every adult in this room right now can objectively say those kids are talented. The little girl, the little girl who played Ro Laren, just absolutely great. Her name is Megan Parlin. Megan Parlin, you played Ro Laren when you were about 12 years old. You are a marvelously talented young lady. Just unbelievable, great acting. Especially this kid, David Tristan Birkin. Great kid, smart kid, great actor.
Really did a great job. They're all really good. I mean, I believe that was Guinan in the kid's body.
Yeah. But why? Guinan's 594 years old, and she doesn't
Oh,
have
it's
the
dumb,
same
yeah.
puberty cycle or aging cycle as humans.
Yeah,
Why include Guinan?
It's just magic-y magicness. Magic-y magic face. Magic-y Magnus, magic-y mad magical or whatever. Thank you, Max Redstone, buddy, for the gonna reach out and grab. I love that song. Thank you, Max Redstone. I appreciate you, buddy. You're too kind for the. You need 7 Ferengi for an assault team. $2 super chat. Yes, a magnificent Ferengi. Exactly. I mean, and you, I don't know. It's so dumb that the Ferengi are just able to take over like this. Like, ugh, shut up.
Dumb.
So, what is your rating of Rascals? Number one.
First, I would like to call upon the captain officially to please deploy the Clawbony.
Oh, we're in a Clawbony here. I didn't know that we were in DEFCON Clawbony DEFCON 1. Yeah, you Clawbony in this one? Okay,
Clawbony in
that's
this
a little
one.
harsh.
I almost gave it an F, but you guys know I don't like to give Fs because I love Star Trek. So this mofo gets a D-.
Wow. I actually gave it a C- because I thought I liked the kids in it, and I thought that when you just forget it's a Trek episode and just watch it for the kids and some of the fun of their performances and the goofiness of the show and them trying to be funny, I didn't really bother me that much. So I thought it was entertaining, just stupid. So I was a little softer on it. I admit it. I give a C-. But anyone who's soft on it, I can get you. I can't blame you, really. Now, let's see. Show the theme. Oh, I'll have to take a look at that. Make sure I can. I didn't get a chance to look at it close yet, Max.
It
But
can't have a C because of this particular line, which I'm paraphrasing. It might not be perfect. Miles, are we going to get a divorce? Awkward.
Yes.
We didn't need to watch this. Pew, pew, pew.
Well, now that I've now that I've given this now that we've reviewed this one and we've given our ratings, folks, I want to get yours. I'm giving the word in the chat. Please, my friends, give your rating and any comments you may have for Rascals. And I will get our lyrics ready from while you're starring those. I will get the lyrics from our limericks from the great Max Redstone.
He's gonna throw down a cipher.
Okay, who's ready? Who's ready for Max's limericks for Rascals?
I am. Fire.
Okay. All right, here we go. Rascals by Max. No, you can't read. I'm doing it. Go back to sleep. I'll look at when we need you. I'm good at reading lyrics. Shut up. Get it. All right. Okay.
Poopy Stew, go to bed.
Go back to sleep, Poopy. It's not fair. Make it so engaged. I'll kick your ass, you little bit. Get it. All right. Stop. I'm going to punch you. Cut it out. All right. So, Rascals by the great Max Redstone here. The shuttlecraft was forced to the skids. Keiko, Ro, Guinan, and Picard aren't just acting like kids. Shouldn't children bring glee? But Picard is more annoying than the Ferengi.
Ooh.
Maybe we should have been turned into a squid. Is that a Watchmen reference? Just kidding.
Oh.
I know it's not. Oh my goodness. So let's start looking at some. I haven't got a chance to take a closer look at that picture to make sure I'm able to use it, Max. So I'm before I can get. I barely just got in here the night before the show. I'd have to see it and see if it's something that would pass up the snuff or whatever. And I haven't had a chance to review that, so I can't really show that yet. Look who's here.
Who? I'm starring. I can't. I have work to do.
Oh, okay. Well, you're still starring.
Who's here?
TMF is here.
TMF! Oh my God! Toxic Man Flu is in the house.
Buddy, good to see you.
Whee! Hello, handsome. How are you and your gorgeous wife?
Good to see you. Let me go to I don't know if you got to his yet, so I'm going to go to our. I'll start doing this while you're still doing that.
I just got to this now. I haven't read it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to spoil it for myself.
All right, here we go. Lord Thoth says D-. One of the worst of the season. I dislike this episode a lot. The transporter again. Really, kids? No. Terrible use of the Ferengi again. The chief of security needs to be fired. Yes. And replaced with you because you're a great chief of security.
Yes, he is.
JT Kirk coming in with an F. Wow. Transporting into kids. The clothing should have been way too big. Keiko tests Miles to see if she married a pedo. Yeah, it's that scene should not have been filmed, but that was 1980. I mean, 90 something. You know, maybe they didn't think it's big a deal. I mean, they didn't think it was that much. People wouldn't automatically go there, like if it was filmed now or if you watch it now. I don't know. They just maybe I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They really didn't think it through like that.
No.
Anyway,
I love you, JT Kirk.
It's a crappy scene.
JT Kirk and I are friends on all the socials. When I'm on the socials.
Picard, Pedo Card should go back and actually marry some dumb jot. Actually marry. Oh, should actually marry, win some dumb jot, etc. Yeah. Transport Wesley now. Okay.
I love you,
so,
JT Kirk.
JT really liked that one.
Yeah.
Rating C+ for the Great Wolfie says, how do like 12 Ferengi take over the entire ship? Here we go with the invincible Burrow class birds of prey. Yeah, they stole some birds of prey. They stole ships from Klingons. Are they that stupid? OMFG, wait till generations. Yeesh. Yeah. See, that's the thing. The Ferengi are dumb, but are they really dumb enough to steal from Klingons like that? I don't know. Birds of prey from Klingons? I don't know about all that. Some of the tricks they play on the Ferengi are fun. The second Heisenfram Restat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just tell me I am not stupid. Human.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
We got some more from Wolfie. Hang on a second. I got to get to it. There we go. Why the hell are there no seatbelts on those shuttlecraft? Note, even any seatbacks for the rear benches. Even the shuttlecraft toy from 1993 had seatbelts.
Yep.
I don't know. God, you have some more. Okay, Wolfie has two more.
Kal-El says,
sorry, Wolfie.
The better question is, why do the Klingons keep leaving their birds of prey unattended?
Yeah, that when I saw because it's been a while since I watched it, I go, wait a minute, what? They stole Klingon ships? Okay. You guys realize that if they made an episode with a young Picard like this today, they would have made him bald because dumb audiences, who's the British kid? But Picard is bald. But Picard is supposed to be, what did you call me? I'm still bald. No, shut up. I wasn't even talking about that. Dumbass.
Wolfie has made a good point, though. You understand that he's made a good point because now you're not allowed to act. You're not allowed to pretend. What you are in real life, you have to be on screen. So we would need a bald kid. Somebody find me a bald kid.
Indeedishness. And Wolfie finally says, Wesley Crusher's roommate, you guys gonna starburst another cadet into oblivion? Well, let's all hope so. Marx Redstone says, C-. Many 600-year-old Guinan espouses the same wisdom as her usual self. Minnie Rowe is still Little Miss Misanthrope. Now with a body-sized match, Minnie Keiko, I just can't. I feel for O'Brien.
Everyone's so disgusted. They're just like, what am I watching? Oh, Miles. Miles, are we going to get a divorce?
Yow.
What?
That hurt.
What am I watching? Burn out my eyes.
That scene's so terrible. And Minnie Picard, oh my. I'm not, but shut up, go back to sleep. For a short while, the universe granted us a young person we could hate more than Wesley. Of course, people are going to have difficulty taking orders from an adolescent. Of course, that's true. I mean, yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, they have
Just
Wesley
look at Doogie Howser.
Yep. Yepper. And they call him Scuba. Pete says, my greatest hire for the kids, hate the transporter MacGuffin device again. I mean, come on. What's the next episode? Holodeck gone wrong again? Nah, they would never do that. Don't be silly. There won't be any. The holodeck going wrong trope is over. It'll never be seen on the show again. And I resent the implication by you, Scuba Pete, that they would ever use that gimmick again, ever. Quite frankly, I'm offended that you would come on here on the show and accuse Star Trek: The Next Generation of reusing old tropes, all thread that they would stoop to the level to go to use the holodeck crap again. It'll never happen, buddy. And I, quite frankly, am offended by you. And you should be ashamed of yourself.
Super fan.
Yeah. So there, Eric
Boston,
Carroll.
just so you know, our wonderful friend Gil, Cardinal Sin,
Hey.
just walks through the door, and he left us a very generous gift. And I just want to let you know that is in the queue. I have started at, but I just wanted to say, Cardi. Gil, thank you so much for being here.
Cardinal saying, good to see you there, buddy. Thank you so much for that. I will get to that as soon as I can find it. You were too kind, buddy. Thank you so much. D for Eric Carroll says the kids are the only good thing about this one. Yeah, because you can't blame kids. They were just brought in to be used by adults for their dumb TV show.
And they did such a good job. They did.
Yeah,
such a good
they really were good kid actors. I hope they went.
The little girl Megan was Rolaren.
I hope they all have wonderful careers and lives. So that's 30-something years ago. Hungry Boy says rated S for stopped watching 5 minutes after the lazy premise. Stanley must have sued for gamma rays and transistors as an excuse. Royalties. Yeah, I remember when I wrote this episode, and even I thought it sucked. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's my worst Stanley yet. Sorry about that, true believers coming at you, pilgrims. F from the great Raymond Feliciano and Dolphin TV. He says, a poor version of Harry Potter meets Star Trek. Marshal the CLOBBERIN into formation.
yes.
Which we've done so. We have done so, sir. All right, let's see here. Mr. Angel Chef says, although the plot idea sucks immensely, I laughed so hard during this episode. I got to give it a. The Picard kid whining to Ferengi and foreshadowing of things to come. It's so bad it becomes good. Fair enough. Fair enough, sir. Did I get to all of Max's yet?
I don't know. You have quite a few starred. There was a lot of participation on this one, so just give her, boss.
Well, Just Joe says, can the Claboni help my Chicago Blackhawks win more games? Yes, and you may borrow it, sir. Take it.
I had to star that. That's a good one.
Yes, it can. And Joe, feel free to use it, brother. Worf should be busted down to ensign for an egregious breach of ship security. Shameful Worf. You're never going to make the Dahar Master, who's going to take over the ship next week. See, I want to see Worf like slaughtering these bitches with a bat lift. They kill into the ship. I know Picard wouldn't like it, but to hell with it. He should have killed those damn Ferengi. Worf, what's wrong with you? It wouldn't last in Starfleet doing that, but what the hell? Okay. He also says, let me guess, the Packlids. After all, they got the ship from the Packlids, I guess. They had a few years to find things to make them go. This episode had some comic relief and decent acting performances, which saves it from a D or an F. Fat enough, sir? Okay, let's see here. Now, number one, we are ready. if you would like to do the honors, we have our good friends, the great enigmatic drop bear, and our wonderful communications officer. If you would be so kind as to do the honors.
Yeah, just wait 1 second here. Just hang tight. 2 wags of a dog's tail. Because Max says we missed a couple of his, but I don't think we did. The thing is that the chat jumped, and I think that it's out of order.
Oh, hang on, Max. That might okay.
So did you do?
I thought I did his first. I thought, I did 3 and 4.
Where is his? Did you do his 1 and 2?
I thought I had until you said that.
Them. So there's 2.
I had thought I did. Oh, there's 2.
And then here's 1. Let's read those.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do those over. Sorry, Max. Dude, my sincerest apologies, buddy. As soon as there we go. I thought I'd done, when I saw 3 and 4, my assumption was with my garbage memory that I'd already done those 1 and 2 because I already saw 3 and 4. I said, maybe I just forgot I did them already. So let's get it, Max.
Don't be too hard
here.
on yourself, boss man. We're about to breach 45 comments highlighted. So don't worry about it, honey.
Sorry about that, Max, or brother. And Max, look, dude, you don't have to give a super chat for that, bro.
Yeah, you don't.
Dude, but thank you for it, dude. I appreciate it, buddy. But you don't have to do that here, man. And I'll get to that picture as soon as I can. I'm trying to get, but so let's go for it, Max. And if you get 3 and 4 of his again, if you can find them. If not, I'll go back to them.
I'll hunt them all down
if you can. I mean, at least.
Oh no, Max, I can. It's easy for me to find that.
C minus 600 years ago. Yeah, I did read this one before. Espouses the same wisdom as her usual self. Minnie Rowe is still Little Miss Misanthrope, now body size to match Minnie Keiko. I just can't. I feel for O'Brien. I remember reading that one.
Yep.
And then I wrote, and Minnie Picard, oh my, for a short while the universe granted us a young person we could hate more than Wesley. Of course, people are going to have difficulty taking orders for an adolescent. I did read both of those, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you missed them.
No,
and then I got to your 3 and 4 later when I found it. So that's what happened. But I did read those before, bro. I would never miss you.
Never miss you. We just
I might miss you on accident, but I might miss you on accident, but certainly not on purpose.
Yeah, never on purpose. You're really important to us.
Well, he knows we wouldn't miss him on purpose. Scotty says, I was the first Alexander Roshenko.
You had to highlight that one. I love it. The dodgy spelling, but still lots of fun. Okay, here's 3 and 4, boss. Come into the box now. Go ahead and look at that tab of yours.
Okay. And then Max continued. We'll just go ahead and do 3 and 4 again. Worf should be busted down to ensign for an egregious breach of ship security. Shameful, Worf. You're never going to make the Harmaster. Who's going to take over the ship next week? Let me guess. The Packlets, after all, they've had a few years to find things to make them go. This episode has some comic relief and decent acting performances, which saves it from D or an F.
I do like those comments. I think those
great stuff as always, Max. Toxic Man Flu said F minus maybe, or maybe that's a separator. 2,345 of the same number. Only one thing could have saved this episode: Lazarus materializing on the pad, falling over, knocking Minnie, Barney, the dino into row your boat, and they all fall into the Nexus. I would pay to see that one, buddy.
He's got a couple more really funny ones coming.
Let's say I want to thank you, Cardinal Sin, for stopping in with that, buddy. To CLOBBERIN, Raquel, Briggs, keep doing what you do because you do it so good. Thank you so much. Well, you keep being you, buddy, and we really appreciate seeing you. You're too kind and generous. Thank you, my friend, and I hope you're having a wonderful night.
Oh, my goodness.
I hope you all are.
Sent another one. Everyone, please, Cardinal Sin, you are such a sweet person. And it's not just the super chats. It really isn't. You know what it is? It's your personality. It's the way you treat us when we're on air. You are just such an outstanding friend to us. And I just want to thank you very much. And everyone, follow Cardinal Sin.
Oh, yeah. I'll dig up the link, but it is in my description below, of course, and I'll try to dig that up in a minute to put it up there. But Cardinal Sin, thank you, bro. I hope things are going well over there on the Great Cardinal Sin channel. And again, thank you so much, buddy.
What a
Really
beautiful
appreciate you.
person. And Larry just walked through the door.
Larry.
Yeah.
All right, Larry. Hey there. I always like your name. That's why I always like to say it twice.
Larry?
Let's see here.
Larry. He's
Love it.
great.
Yes, he is. Let's see here. Let me go back to the Toxic Man Flu has a couple of more.
I know, they're all good too.
F3, 2345. Come on. We have had December, May romances, but Miles and Runt Keiko is a December, January cringe fest. Indeed. The wonderful Mrs. Scuba Pete says F00. Not a fan, I take it. I'm sensing Captain James Skywalker gives it a C-. I'm not sure if hate the bad use of if I hate the bad use of the holodeck or the magic transporter. Yeah, well, look, I hear you there, man. Let's see what we'll do now is we will go back up to our good friend Enigmatic Drop Bear, and then Jill after that. If you would do the honors, number one.
I love all these adult men who are sure of themselves, these intelligent adult men. I love this. Look at what Scotty's like, Jess is too young for me. Oh my goodness. And you got another gift from Gil. Cardinal Sin. My goodness. Okay, I'm going to do Edie first, and then we'll do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sure.
All right, let's go. It's Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear. He's going to drop the mic on this one. Ooh, Toxic Manflu just sent a gift as well. I'm starring them all and reading at the same time. Okay, he's got a 4-parter, Enigmatic Drop Bear. He's giving this episode a D-. And he opens with a quote. Honey, the transporter shrunk the away team. This Realm of Fear and Next Phase really do give credence to Reg Jones and Dr. Pulaski's misgivings about transporter technology.
Oops, let me get back. I'm sorry, I had to.
That's okay.
There we go.
Oh my goodness, so many gifts. Max Redstone just sent a gift. Okay, 2 out of 4. The biological explanation for the away team's regression requires sophistry to explain the commensurate shrinkage of their clothes, yet lack of shrinkage of Picard's and Keiko's containers. Yeah, and their comm badges, and it is distracting because, it's very distracting. It takes you out of the story. You can't suspend belief. 3 of 4.
Yep.
The writers continue the portrayal of Ferengi as antagonists worthy of derision. Yeah, but they're not. They're like little crack monkeys. How did they fail to realize they were being picked off individually? Yeah, exactly. 4 of 4. At least young Picard feels the same as the rest of us about being Wesley's roommate at Starfleet Academy. Well, I just, something was brought to my attention in the chat before we move on. A chef, our cruise chef, Mr. Angel, he says, my apologies. I have a cold and I'm very tired. It's 4.38 hours in the morning here. So it's 4 in the morning.
Lord.
So so I crawl into my coffin because I cannot keep my eyes open any longer. We'll see you all next week. Mr. Angel, we love you. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah, mwah. Night, Chef.
Take care, Chef. Have a great night, Chef. Appreciate you.
And now you would not believe what your friends have done for you. Please go and look at all of these gorgeous. There is a cornucopia, a veritable rainbow of gifts waiting for you from all of your friends here on Saturday Night Star Trek. Go get them, boss.
Let's see here. Cardinal Sin, thank you so much again, bro. The kids are all right. All right. I like that.
All right.
Kids are all right. I see what you did there.
Clever.
You were too kind. Thank you. And he's always clever. Row your boat. Thank you, TMF. As you can guess from the name, this was my favorite episode of TNG.
Ooh.
I knew it. I just knew it all along. Max Redstone, buddy. Thank you, Raquel, for your vigilance. These super chats are the Clute's only reward. Yes. Hey, we're getting there, Max. We're going to have the big Blake 7 blow up pretty soon because we're almost all of us have seen them all now.
I'm afraid of the Clute.
And
Speed chess with the Clute? What are the stakes? Are the stakes my life?
the Stoics, or you get to hang out with Deep Roy. Okay. Now we have our wonderful first officer. Communications officer. And our first officer will read those if you will do the honors, please.
Yes, anti-derivative Jill. She is our communications officer. She's a wonderful nerd. She's also an INTJ. I just love her. She's a good friend. And row your boat. TMF just sent you another gift. We've got a 1 of 6 here for Jill. You all know what that means. This is an Esh pick, a full-on Esh pick.
Esh pick.
6-parter. She's giving this episode a C. She says, magical transporter shenanigans. It's an Irish word. Good girl. Magical transporter shenanigans by removing their RVN nevertheless produced a fun and charming episode. Yes, the science is completely bogus. For example, what about Picard's artificial heart?
Oops, good one. Good one.
2 of 6.
Jill.
Also unbelievable are the capabilities of 2 birds of prey, not even contained or captained, by Klingons to bring down the flagship of the Federation. Exactly what I'm yelling every time I watch the damn episode. So I realize I'm giving vast leeway to 2 ridiculous concepts.
Yep.
3 of 6. It's also crazy how easy the Ferengi take down the bridge crew, which is admittedly an insult to all of those characters, as there were precautions they normally would have taken to prevent this. Absolutely. 4 of 6. It's not Star Trek. And I have no excuse for the terrible plot contrivances or a logical reason why I like it anyways.
I've been there plenty of times.
It's a guilty pleasure episode, except the Keiko scene. That was painful.
Miles, are we going to get divorced?
Lord. Been there many times, Jill.
5 of 6. We see more of Picard's interest in archaeology and wonder with him about returning to this interest to pass time, just like April. As he grows up again, just like April. It's like time travel. What if you could do it all again? Yes.
I guess
6 of 6. I enjoyed 594-year-old Guinan helping Ro re-examine. She didn't say that, I did. And Gil just sent you another incredibly generous gift. Re-examine her childhood and the kids' teamwork. Alexander's smile when he gives the 1 badge is priceless. Imagine Worf's pride when he hears about this later. Yes, he is a true warrior. Only Worf is the worst father in all of Starfleet, perhaps in the entire galaxy. So maybe not, poor kid. Great review, by the way, Jill. Love you.
Well done, Jill, as always. Thank you so much, Cardinal Sin Buddy, again, for your kindness and your generosity. I appreciate you. Kind of takes you out of the episode, doesn't it, Jill? Complain about non-verisimilitude, indeed. And
yeah,
absolutely, Gil, it does. It just makes you want to, even if you just want to have a good time, it's some pretty silly stuff. Thank you so much, Rory. But also, I expect young P. Hard to be bald. Anyone else? That was mentioned earlier. All right, let's see here. Michael Beacom says, it says D, Trek babies in space. Trek babies in space. I want to see the technobabble injectors and the Deus Machina gain. Activate the technobabble injectors. Number 3, activate the Deus Machina gain. Buttons labeled on the transporter. Hell, somebody making fun of me. Shut up. Go back to the. Hell, another episode like this, and I got to find your next one there, Michael. So hang on. And I want.
Toxic Man Flu just sent you row your boat, but he rewrote the lyrics, and they're quite hysterical. And he sent a gift along with it, so that's waiting for you in the queue when you're done, boss.
Gotcha. Trek the musical. Well, you ought to go to that old magazine, the old Mad Magazine Trek musical. That was hilarious, by the way. For those who are old enough to remember that one. With O'Brien and Transporter team singing, "You Can Do Magic. You Can Have Everything That You Desire" by America. Love that song.
Mm-hmm.
To it. And the Ferengi Eps Eps like this made me hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I stand under for sure. Let's see here. Michael, I get you. Let's see. Here we go. Next one by Michael. I like when science fiction allows us to explore identity by changing our heroes. Unfortunately, it was a misfire. I do have to admit it would have been worse if the kids were worse. And usually kids are annoying. In this case, they were the best. Boy, you're in trouble when the kids are best singing something. I mean, let's be honest. We all love kids, at our heart, but we also know how annoying they are because we were all kids and we know we were annoying. So damn, but they did a good job. Again, with a huge amount of work and something other than the magic transporter, it might have been fun. This is the kind of episode I would fear having to defend. You like this stuff? Yeah. You know what? And here's the thing. How about, look, I'm not advocating the use of Q again, but this is the kind of shit, if Q pulled it on him, no one will be complaining about the dumb transporter bit of it. So when you come up with a story, if you want to do it, let it make it Q doing it or something like that. You don't have to explain it at that point. You say Q can do it because Q can do it. Q can do that to them.
Boss man,
Yes.
Steve Mitchum has to switch to his phone, his cell
All right,
phone,
buddy.
and he will no longer be participating in the live chat, but he is still podcasting the show.
All right.
And he has to pick up Maddie, so he just said he's still there, but he just doesn't
That's
want
cool.
anyone to think
No
that
problem,
he's being rude or that he left without saying goodbye. So good
Oh,
night,
no.
Steve.
We got you, Steve, brother.
Yeah, and
Thanks.
please kiss
Oh.
Maddie for me, and
Yeah.
thank you for letting us know that you were leaving, honey.
All right, bro. Take care out there, buddy. Captain Dave T. Skywalker says, I so wish Lady Raquel would tell us how she really feels. Nah, let her keep it a mystery. Pleasant Valley says B-. I enjoyed the kid actors. They made the episode fun. I thought they were good playing their characters. So I forgive any dumb writing. Well, that's fair enough, man.
Yep.
You're a forgiving soul, and that's a good thing. The Ferengi BS pulls it down. I mean, come on. TNG tried to make them the big bads in season 1, and they were so pathetically silly. They were only good for comedy relief. Yeah, that is so true. And then, let's see.
They could have been very
For me-
scary, but they decided to
Right.
hire incredibly teeny tiny little people and then have them jump around like monkeys on crack.
Monkeys. They're not threatening, they're just annoying. You're going to tell me that 1,000-something people can be taken over by 12 idiots?
No.
Ferengi only become compelling in DS9. Yeah, true. The only thing Ferengi could assault in this episode is our intelligence. Well done. Well said. I'm absolutely there with you, sir. Kal-El says, C-. While the premise of the episode certainly isn't unique, its implementation wasn't really that good either. Can someone please explain to me how half a dozen Ferengi can take over
Yeah, exactly.
Starfleet's flagship that presumably has numerous security personnel on board? The child actors did a good job of their roles, in their roles. However, which is why the episode didn't get a lower rating.
Yep, true.
With you
And
there.
Monkey G-Boss! I know you're
With
on the
you.
up and up. You also don't fling your poop either, which is also another. I believe that's a monkey
Right.
thing.
That's very good of you. JT Kirk said there was once a rascal from Nantucket.
I thought you said that.
Scotty says 10 of 10 for the O'Brien love scene. Well, there you go. We all have to like
He's
something.
obviously being sarcastic.
Well, and if not, we respect you to like anything you like to like.
Ew! No!
If
No,
you
we
like
don't!
seeing Colin Meany being really uncomfortable, then that's your thing. But hey, I got you.
Ew!
A+. Toxic Man, you gives it an A. Toxic Man Flu gives it an A+. At this point, I'd rather be watching this episode than the Reba McEntire concert I'm at right now with Mrs. Flu. Just don't tell her you are. Are you kidding? If you are, that's hilarious. Are you really at a Reba McEntire concert? I would rather be
love
watching
it.
this episode too. No offense, but I'm right there with you, dude. I would have to definitely. I'd rather be watching even
I
a
would
bad
love to
episode.
sing "Here's Your One Chance, Fancy, Don't Let Me Down." I want to sing that to TMF, but I won't. I won't.
F-, as if one fracking child in the cast wasn't enough. We get 4 more. Oh Lord. F- again. F- part 2. I mean, seriously, Guinan looks like Minnie Grimace on Micro Barney. Wow.
I love that one. I could leave that one up all night. That is his best comment.
I sense you were really not happy to be at that concert. I'm just going to go out on a limb.
Oh, boss man,
Yes.
I beg your
Yes.
pardon. Please excuse me. Raymond Feliciano from King Dolphin TV.
Mm-hmm.
He has to leave for the evening. Night,
All right, Raymond.
Raymond. Everyone,
Raymond.
say night to Raymond.
Be good, buddy. You take care, man. Have a great night. Post your links up if you feel like it. Fan Mounts.
Said, I already heard Fancy. Save me. Save me.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
my
I love
goodness.
you so much, TMF.
TMF's the man. Phantom Outsider says, D, as in duh, engaged drool. Here's my number one. Let's see. He's my number one dad. Oh, God, yeah. The Ferengi should have vaporized that kid for that very cutesy line from a 12-year-old. Decker will defer to anyone, even a child.
It's true, Phantom.
It's like the captain is incapacitated, so first officer would take over. But of course, being an incompetent, Decker has no problem leaving a kid in command. No
Yep.
contact with Starfleet command. Yes.
Also, yeah, why not contact Starfleet? That's why what I yelled in my notes. Where is Starfleet?
Indeedishness. In the filth, Guinan can control her aging, but apparently not at that point in time, right? Also, why would he go back to the academy? Why not be ambassador to the planet from Miri? I don't even understand anything about life anymore, so don't ask me. I think we already got Max's there, so let's see.
Marky with a C. I did like the Reba McEntire concert, but tonight is the show, the Reba McEntire show. I'm just trying to make sure it was clear. Mark D with a C. I did like the Reba McEntire show, but tonight is all about those times in your marriage when it is 100% me and 100% her.
Wow.
TMF, I love you. Mwah, mwah. I'm so sorry, honey.
JD Lewis says, "Hold on, friends. Sorry I'm late. I'm just home. Rascals was a filler placeholder episode. Nothing to see here. A C-. Thank you, JD, and it's good to see you there, my friend." Just Joe says, this ep was almost as silly as the 80s G.I. Joe cartoon that had some of the Joes turned into kids due to some aging ray at Cobra Spa. Remember, like I said, that Justice League episode where Morgan Le Fay turned the Justice Leaguers into kids. That was actually pretty good, but again, it was magic and it was a superhero show. You didn't have to magic can do anything, and it worked for those characters. It doesn't work for Star Trek. Row your boat, number 5, for a $5 super chat. Thank you again so much, TMF.
I love this.
Row your boat gently down the drain. Keiko, Guinan, and young Picard should be flushed down the drain again. Should be flushed again. Boom. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, TMF. Well done, sir. Let me see.
Love it.
JT Kirk says, Raquel, I'm so creeped out by that scene every time.
Yeah.
The only way it could have been weirder is if he says, let's wait till your 18th birthday or some similar crazy. Yeah. I mean, she was still supposedly have the capacity of an adult mind, so she should have realized what she was.
Well, of course she
putting him
would.
through.
She would understand the ramifications. It's so ridiculous. And it's, Miles, are we going to get a divorce? Get out. Take your shadow and be gone. Open that door. Take your shadow out of that door. Slam the door behind you.
Could have said, well, you know what? Stop being such a panicky Pete. We're going to fix it by the end of the episode anyway.
Miles, are we going to get a divorce?
I may have to put you in the agony booth if you say that again. The agony booth is the most effective means of discipline. J25 says, C. Crap like this is why I had no hope for Quark on DS9. Fleshing out the Ferengi was one of the DS9's triumphs. That's true. I would agree with that. And I'm not a big Ferengi guy. Oh, we got Mark C. Mark D with the C says 2, 3, 2, then 3. Then he's got one. They just got, are they backwards? Maybe they're sitting out of order. Okay. They might be out of order. So I'll start. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. They got 8. Chief Engineer Mark D with the C says B-. Kids are great, and it had some good character moments that I enjoyed aside from the cringe Miles scene and ridiculous plot holes. Alexander also got his time to shine. Yep.
Although
Alexander.
his dad will never acknowledge it because his
Nope.
dad is horrible. He's
Worst
the
dad.
worst
The
dad.
worst dad ever.
Dad,
The
I love you. Get the hell away from me, son.
I'm Cleon. I will cut their ass. The bad could it have been any easier to take over the Enterprise with 6 Ferengi and some old birds of prey? Worf, you are fired, sir. You dumbass Klingon dope. So now transporters can de-age you too. So why don't they use the tech to live forever?
Yeah.
We could have infinite seasons of P Hard. No, what?
No.
Not ready for you yet. You stay over there.
No.
I have something from Max Redstone gave us. I hope this doesn't get me in trouble, Max, because I couldn't see it before. Let's see. Starfleet sex offender registry.
Nice use of LCARs. Who sent that?
Max Redstone, of course.
Max Redstone. That is an excellent use of LCARs. I love you.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Max. God dang it. Look at that. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
I just want you to know, this is what I was saying when we first started talking about TNG, and I told you that I don't like Keiko because I find her whiny. Now you understand why. Every time I hear her say Miles, it's like nails down a chalkboard. Do you know what I mean?
Poor
So
old
the
O'Brien.
most important thing is that you now enjoy Keiko the same way I do. I love you, hungry boy.
Max Redstone, as always, buddy. Nicely done.
Carney's like,
dear.
dude, that's hysterical.
Max Redstone is the man.
He is.
Oh,
Wolfie, Elcar's pedo watch.
you bad boy. You bad. You some bad boys. All of you. Just a reprehensible. Okay. Who is ready for the next episode?
Let's do it.
All right. And I'm going to tell you for the last time, Scuba Pete, this show will never, ever again stoop to doing anything like you were talking about with the, with that, whatever that I'm not going to say it. I'm going to dignify it, sir, by repeating what you said this episode. This show would ever fall back on again. Instead, let's have our guest come in and introduce the next episode. Yes.
Oh,
No,
it
thank you.
smells. Did
Poopy
he poop
screw
his
hair.
pants?
Our next, I will ignore that because I can't hear anyway. Our next episode, ladies and gentlemen, is called "Make It So." No, it's called "A Pants Full of Ladies." No, sorry, I'm sorry. Let me look at the screen, get a little bit closer. It says it is a fistful of datas. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry, there we are. A fistful of datas. Whoever that is, I don't know who Data is, but that's just go ahead and review it, guys, and let me get back to sleep. Thank you, Poopy Stew. A fistful of datas.
His depends, please.
Yes,
Clubby, how do you stand being around? It's so stinky.
not easy. Oh man, he's annoying.
He's poopy.
Just stop talking about me, and I'll call Chew to deal with you. He's my friend now, right? Never mind. Shut up. I'll make you watch the filth even more. All right. Here we go. All right, everyone. The next episode is Take It Away. Number 1, we have a fistful of datas. Question.
Yes, it is a fistful of datas. It was directed by Poopy Stew. He's left for a little while. They're going to go change his diaper. He may be back a little bit later. This is season 6, episode 8. We all watched this for the first time on November 9th, 1992. Let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. Ooh, and you have a gift from one of our good friends, JT Kirk.
Oh, thank you, JT Kirk. I appreciate that. You're too kind. In the filth, a fistful of datas has a very different meaning. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my.
Oh, I love JT Kirk.
Well done.
All right, I'm going to be reading from page 281. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously. It's not like I sit around practicing this stuff, so be nice to me, okay? With some spare time to kill, Alexander convinces Troy and Worf to participate in his Wild West holodeck program. And
LaForge conducts an experiment to see if Data's neural network could be used as an emergency backup to the ship's computer. It's soon apparent, however, that LaForge's experiment isn't going to pan out. Pan out, and it's a Western. System glitches are appearing all over the ship, most dramatically in Alexander's holodeck program, where the safety protocols have been shut down and all the bad guys resemble Data, right down to his superhuman android abilities.
Of course.
There's another tile. Shall I read it, Captain?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to be reading from 282. On April 3rd, 1968, just prior to starting Star Trek the original series, ill-fated third season, Gene Roddenberry wrote a letter to NBC's current programming manager describing future plans for the show. To help counteract any sameness about the ship, Roddenberry wrote, "We are presently planning the addition of new and interesting ship ideas, including a simulated outdoor recreation area, complete with foliage, turf, running water, and etc." And etc.? Roddenberry's recreation idea didn't come to fruition on that show. No, it didn't. It did on TAS.
Yep.
Although an animated version, yes, although an animated version of it did in 1974 in the animated series episode The Practical Joker. That is true. Viewers wouldn't step into the full-blown concept until TNG's 1987 pilot, where it had gained a name, the holodeck. How Star Trek's creator developed his future recreation area hasn't been recorded. Well, that's not true. That's absolutely not true. That's absolutely not true, because we know that Gene Roddenberry was friends with Gene Dolgoff, and they met in 1973. And Gene Dolgoff, not Gene Roddenberry, had a laboratory in New York where he was working with holodeck science in real life. And Gene Roddenberry loved to meet with scientists and learn about the emerging technology. He was into futurism before people were even calling it futurism. So that's absolutely not true in this book. And I can definitely tell you right now that her saying that it hasn't been recorded is absolutely 1,000. I'm telling you, it's 1,000% untrue. It officially, through all of Star Trek, CBS, Paramount, anyone, all of the printed material definitely talks about Gene Dolgoff meeting with Gene Roddenberry in 1973 and discussing the technology, which is how it wound up in TIS. And so I'm sorry for interrupting the book, but this book is wrong. It's not true. That is not official Paramount, Viacom, CBS, any Desilu. That's not true. Gene Roddenberry met a man, a scientist named Gene Dolgoff in 1973. They hit it off, and Gene visited Dolgoff's holographic laboratory. And I know most of you know that, because I talked about it when the recreation area first appeared in TAS, when we talked about TAS. But I just want to remind everyone at home that what this person just said is absolute poo. It's poo.
Excellent.
Okay, so let's read that again, even though it's not true. It's poo. How Star Trek's creator developed his futuristic recreation area hasn't been recorded. That is a lie. The test revealed that is a lie. I feel like Maury Povich. Perhaps it came to him as he read the short story The Veldt by his friend Ray Bradbury. Nope. In which a children's nursery could transform into any landscape the children desired. Nope. Or perhaps he'd read recent works by computer scientist Ivan Sutherland, who predicted a room that could control the existence of matter. Nope. However he developed the idea, nope. Roddenberry's plans to enhance his sets was revolutionary. Yeah, please turn to page 1973. That is official on all Star Trek information on the website. It's everywhere. Gene Roddenberry was friends with Gene Dolgoff in 1973, went to his holographic laboratory in New York. So that is a lie. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. And if I see any more poo, I'll tell you.
Indeed.
The Next Generation was something of an anthology show in that we could tell any kind of story, especially with the absolutely brilliant addition of the holodeck, states Brandon Braga. Virtual reality was a rather new idea at the time, and with a holodeck on the ship, we could even do a Western, which is just what happened. Which is just what recent UCLA graduate Robert Hewitt Wolf had hoped. I got my master's in screenwriting, and I pitched to TNG a few times, Wolf says. I didn't sell anything, but Michael Piller liked my pitches enough that he invited me back. Finally, I came in and pitched two stories, one of which I was sure they'd buy, but didn't, and another which they actually did buy. I called that one The Good, the Bad, and the Klingon. And The Good, the Bad, and the Klingon was actually the original title of this episode. So it's good that she put that. That's true. After Wolf turned in a draft of the script, now titled A Fistful of Datas, in tribute to the Sergio Leone or Leone, spaghetti western. So it is Leone because it's Italian, right?
I've always said Leone, but it's really Leone. But
yeah, it depends if it's French, Italian, or Spanish. But anyways, let's keep going. Braga did a finishing pass. I loved Robert's idea that Data was everybody at the end, Braga says, even the Zaftig barmaid Annie. As for the second story Wolf pitched that day, a time travel story about Captain Picard and Geordi landing in the 20th century Los Angeles just before the Watts riots, it eventually found a home in Deep Space Nine as a two-parter past tense with Captain Sisko, Gillian Bashir, and Jadzia Dax time traveling to the 21st century to San Francisco just before the fictional Bell riots. Oh my goodness, there's another tile. Do you want me to read it, boss?
Sure, if you want to. It's up to you.
Oh,
if you think it's worthy.
Scuba Pete is saying Italian. So
yeah, it's Italian. Yeah, Leone's Italian. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is Leone?
It's Leone.
It's Leone, okay. You can't be so this is on page 283 for all you copyright cops. Coppas. Call the sheriff on you. Page 283. You can't be in two places at once unless your data in a holodeck program with oh boy, I'm going to get into a whole bunch of trouble with Americans over this word, but you guys say it wrong. You guys say with a cadre, and it's cadre in French, of photo doubles. There were three of us doubling as different aspects of Data that day, all wearing gold makeup, notes Guy Vardaman. I was listed as Data Eli on the call sheet, but they also asked me to do Data Frank with a mustache and a black vest and coat. That was the first time I'd ever had Data's makeup on my face and everywhere else that showed. Usually it's just my hands, so I guess he was his hand model. Or on the neck and the back of the head. Oh, okay, so he was his stand-in. All the close-ups were Brent, of course. The day that Vardaman mentions was the single day that TNG producers had booked to shoot on Warner Brothers Studios' Western Street in Burbank. Poopy Stew, a fan of American Westerns since childhood, had the good fortune to draw a fistful of Datas as his third directing job. Because he had a large number of scenes to shoot at Warner's, he scheduled the crew to start early, as in pre-sunset early to prep. That would leave the maximum of daylight hours free for actual filming. Unfortunately, the cool of the early morning didn't last long. Oh God, poor Michael Dorn. The temperature must have been 113 in the shade, Fahrenheit, of course. Don't have a heart attack. It's not Celsius. Recalls producer designer Richard James. It was awful. The guys in makeup, particularly, Michael Dorn, were just miserable. Yeah, that's what I thought. Of course, Michael Dorn would be miserable. And imagine the little boy, that little Brian Bonsall boy. Oh my goodness. Everybody felt for Michael. What about the little boy? Vardaman agrees because of the Klingon headpiece and wig and all that. It all came down to the heat and all of us periodically running back to stand in front of whatever air conditioning unit was functional. Anything to avoid sweating makeup into wardrobe. Data should never be observed sweating, he adds with a grin. Despite initial fears that there wasn't enough time to get everything done, the day was a success. The Western Street was in pretty good shape, James recalls. We just had to make the saloon look like it had been used. So we added signage and placed a few broken windows. I added my own saloon doors and then took them back to stage 16 at Paramount and put them on our saloon set there. The highlight of the day for me, Stuart says enthusiastically, Poopy Stu says enthusiastically, was the beginning of this classic Western shootout in the street. It was a crane shot. The operator said to me, "Do you want to ride on the crane?" What is he, like 5? "You want to ride on the crane? You might as well be up here with me." I was buckled into the spare seat alongside the camera, and somebody actually found a megaphone for me. I was able to call action from up there through the megaphone. On the Warner Brothers lot, Poopy Stu states, still clearly thrilled at the experience. "Do you want to ride on the crane?" And that is all the block text has to say. Some of it lies about a fistful of data.
Well, since our guest directed the episode, I was asking him what his thoughts were about it, and he just wanted to say, I remember when I directed this episode back in 1962. I believe the episode was called "Fisted by Datas." It was a really remarkable experience to do an episode. I believe Clint Eastwood was a guest star in it. I played the part of Mr. Wolf, if I remember correctly. And I just want to say it was a wonderful experience. Carry on with your generous review. I'll be over here. Oh, go back to sleep now. Sorry. Okay. But he just wanted to comment on that because, he directed the episode, so I thought he might have something to say about it. Wow. Good Lord. Yes. See, I told you, Scuba Pete, you were lying about them using the holodeck again. Holodeck breakdown. You'd think it happened every season or something, the way you go on. Oh, my God, dude. Really?
What does that Scuba Pete guy know anyway, right?
Jesus.
Everything.
And I'm a big Western fan, but I didn't get the feeling, the Sergio Leone feeling. Wah, wah, wah. It was just a dumb idea. Another, again, you didn't find any particular good reason for there to be. It's phony drama when it's the holodeck for the 15 millionth time. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I mean, I'm not getting complicated in it. It was boring. Why are they doing this experiment on the computer like that anyway with data? It didn't sound like it was too smart to me.
Hey, Pop's here.
Pop Culture Republic. Hello there. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for popping in.
Toxic Man Flu just made a rated R comment in the chat, and it's hysterical, but I'm not going to read it.
Oops. Oh.
It's great.
Oh, Jesus. So yeah, I don't know. It's just dumb. It's dull. And again, it's always, look, the talents of Brent Spiner are considerable. So him getting to kind of show off and play around with his comedic abilities, it's always kind of fun. That's fine. I get, but Troy is annoying. I'm supposed to buy into it. All of a sudden, she's really cool because she, and likes Westerns. I know she had a human father or whatever, but it's like, I don't know. It touched on a lot of the tropes, but it was just a snoozer, just another time filler. We've already started out the season with a time travel episode. Then you do another one that's sort of a not time travel, but it's a period piece type thing in a sense. It's like, you guys are really going to have to start picking it up this season because you just, I don't know what you think you're doing. You followed up sort of a comedy with another comedy. Right back to back. And I guess it was production.
They did take the script from the 17-year-old kid.
Yeah, twice, right? A couple times. It's like, how many times are they going to let kids come in here? I don't know why. Who needed to see it? We've already had a detective one. Let me see here. On the next generation, we had Sherlock Holmes. That was all fun and good for once. We'll let them slide with the big goodbye and the occasional visit to the holodeck. But Jesus Christ, you have to do it again? And there's always have to be a malfunction?
Yeah.
Get out of here with that
I wouldn't
crap.
go on the holodeck anymore. I would definitely.
Dangerous.
You would need Geico. You would need some insurance.
It's dangerous to be on the damn holodeck. So, Notes? I mean,
Here are my notes, Captain. Is there anyone in Starfleet who is a more negligent father than Worf? He'll do anything to avoid parenting, and he'll do anything to avoid his son. Reg Barkley's holodeck program. Whee! That's actually in my notes. It is widely reported that on the Red Dwarf DVD set, Poopy Stew says that he was, quote, and I am quoting him directly, outraged. How do you like that for hyperbole? Outraged to discover a fistful of datas too strongly resembled, looked like, or borrowed from the Red Dwarf episode Gunmen of the Apocalypse, Season 6, Episode 3.
which was before this.
He noted that he was relieved to see some differences. Not the first time this has happened. So if you'll all recall, there have been a couple of times where I've brought this up, where some people on the internet have accused some plagiarism. And some of you have had some strong reactions like, do you really want to use the word plagiarism? So this time I'm not going to. Because, before...
Zacharot.
Hey, Zacharot! Because, before people were like, oh, my stars and garters! Are you accusing them of borrowing material from other writers and other shows? Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. So here we go again, and here we go again. So if you have deja vu, yeah. Anyway, some mistakes in filming. We see Data's arm disappear due to image mirroring. I love that Worf drinks a sherry. Of course, I drink port, so I love that he drinks a sherry. Worf doesn't know where Alexander is. I love how, when Alexander's about to be killed, Worf has no idea where he is, and they're on the same holodeck together. That he should win the Parenting Award of the Year. Sucks large as a dad. I love Brent Spiner and I love Data. And then I put poor Alexander. And I also put, just so everyone knows, there's no way that Worf's hat could come off of the holodeck. Because the holodeck is actual science. It's light. We're trying to get to that place. So the hat cannot come off the holodeck. The hat is light. And that's all I put.
I know Patty Stew was just being facetious about that Red Dwarf episode, but I would point out, and of course, yes, it was before that it was before this, I believe. That episode of the Horseman of the Apocalypse of Red Dwarf is so brilliant, so amazing, so well done, so intelligent. It makes this look like freaking Barney the dinosaur. Okay, this episode is that level compared to the writing quality and intelligence of that Red Dwarf episode and many episodes, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And they have, first of all, they have their little Western episode, and they found a very intelligent way to do it. It wasn't a holodeck. It was a computer game inside of a virtual reality. Every bit about that episode made far more sense. In a show that's a comedy but uses hard science fiction, Red Dwarf uses science fiction better than The Next Generation ever did, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, Hungry Boy, I'm feeling a little bit better, and I was feeling really sick. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of happy tonight. But yeah, nice. I'm sort of cheesed because then when you ask people who really watch the show and stuff, they're like, wow, this is so similar. And then everyone always says, oh, Poopy Stew is just being facetious. It's like, how many times are we going to see, okay, this is Bewitched. Oh, okay, this is, this is this. You have all of these things. It's just like, guys, stop borrowing from other people. Just write your own stuff. Just write your own stuff.
Yep. I mean, you can't top it. So, what is your rating, number one, of a fistful of spiders?
Thing is, excuse me, I don't mind this episode. I like this episode. I watch this episode every year. Don't get tired of it. I absolutely love it when Data comes down like Klinger down the staircase, and and they've given him a prosthetic chest filled with like a rack. He's got a rack. And
Boy,
I love everything about it. I like this episode. I do. I suspend all of my obviously numerous criticisms because I just like it.
Sure, I'm that way. A lot of episodes, so I understand. What's your rate? What's your rating of it?
For me, this is a B plus.
Okay, fair enough. It's an engaging, and again, my problem is this. I mean, it's funny and it's cute and it's fun. Just like Rascals has cute, appealing elements. It's just that these guys they never earned their stripes. In other words, if they have a fairly consistent run of good, interesting science fiction episodes, and then you sprinkle in the fun goofball ones, but that have fun stuff with the characters and are funny, you've earned it. Like the original series earned I Mud and the Trouble with Tribbles and even a piece of the action. They earned it by being almost all the rest of the time being a great science fiction show.
And they weren't borrowing from
those fun
other
ones
comedy people.
And those fun ones stand out. Oh, that too, yes. But those other ones, those few, because there are only a few. Like, in other words, I Mud stands out. Trouble Tribbles, a piece of the action, they stand out because they're few and far between. And you go, that's just kind of fun. They just had an episode just cut loose and have a goofy. It's fun to see the characters do that once in a while. This one, they don't ever earn it because they do it too much and they don't do it well. I mean, not in one humorous episode of Next Generation, even their better ones, is in a class with Trouble with Tribbles or a piece of the action, in my opinion. So anyway, yeah, but okay. Well, I give it a C minus. I mean, because again, I don't hate it either. I'm kind of tired of the holodeck thing. I'm a big fan of westerns, but everything about it's just kind of. It was mildly amusing. I think the thing that keeps it from being terrible really is Spiner just being funny the whole time. And when he's funny, he's kind of funny when he's more almost funnier when he's Data and he keeps lapsing into his different accents and stuff.
He's also so nice in real life that he is incredibly good at being like super scary. And so when he's evil, just the way he curls his lip when he's being evil. I just love it. And I love that he's able to do all of these different characters and make it believable. I absolutely love it. And yes, Pop Culture Republic, given enough time and one show will borrow from any show will borrow from other shows. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
There's very little originality anymore. Yeah, but the thing is that Pop Culture Republic, the thing I don't like is that this is a writer's room that was absolutely savage toward Gene Roddenberry. And Gene Roddenberry had all of these beautiful influences, but he had incredibly original ideas. And then you hear the interviews in the block text with all of these authors. And they're saying the worst thing about Gene Roddenberry, about Gene Roddenberry's Bible, about how they couldn't wait to trounce all over the things that the rules that he had while he was alive and stuff. I mean, you folks have heard it. You've been here to hear it as you've heard it as I've read it to you. You were here, and it's just like, wow. Okay, so you get a few stories from Red Dwarf. You get a few stories from a couple of 17-year-old kids. You get a few stories from the sitcoms on television. You get a few stories from Oscar Wilde. You get a few stories from Shakespeare. And they're just getting all these stories from all these different places. And yet they pretend like they're like this amazing writer's room filled with these brilliant people. Six Ferengi in Klingon warships took over the Enterprise with over 1,000 people on it. And the captain was a kid.
Yep.
I get upset at these writers because of how hard they were on Gene. And Gene had all the original ideas. He had all the original ideas.
Indeed. Well, the word is given, everyone. By the way, give us your rating of A Fistful of Datas. And I will, number one, we'll store those ratings and we'll give them are you ready for a Max Limerick?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely. Well, let me pull it back up here. Hang on here. Okay. Ready, everyone, for our Max Redstone's classic limerick for A Fistful of Datas. There we are. Since I directed the episode, I think I should be allowed to review. No, I'm not. No. I'll do it.
How come
All
no
right, here we
one changed his diaper yet? He still smells poopy.
He's doing it now. Someone, I think Data is doing it now for him. All right, here we go.
Close that old man off.
Here we go. From the great repertoire of the Max Redstone. Here we go. Data is square, but he is not hip. Yet his mind is taking over the ship. His music and poems disturb Picard's bald dome until Worf gets a kiss on the lips. Whoa. Well done, Max Redstone, sir.
Excellent job, Max.
He's the man. Oh, wow. Okay. Well done, buddy. He's great. All right. J.D. Lewis says C-. Another Bly episode forcing the Troy Worf romance down our throats, sandwiched in between a lackluster plot that rips off the much superior The Big Goodbye.
Yeah, and JD makes a good point because I think about that every time. Is this we're inching more towards the Troy Worf romance? That's an incredibly good point.
Oh boy, yeah. Hopefully it's still a little bit of ways away though. Rating B for Wolfie. Overall, this episode is fun. Westworld on the holodeck. Where's Yul Brenner when Yul Brenner when you need him? Oh wait, this is an exact copy of Westworld 1973. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yep.
It is indeed. Holodeck malfunction, reverting to default setting. Crush, kill, destroy. Crush, kill, destroy. Is that a Lost in Space reference, Wolfmeek? Let me know. It seems like one. Crush, kill, destroy. C+ from Eric Carroll. This may be the best use of Troy. I was going to make a crude use for Troy joke, but I won't do it. Okay, why should I? Scuba Pete says B-. I heard Alexander didn't mind. Oh boy, getting the shaft mid-story. Wow, dude. Wow. I would have preferred. Oh God, I would have preferred the title "Support Your Local Klingon." Support Your Local Sheriff is one of the greatest Western comedies of all time. So that really runs with me deep. Well done, Scuba Pete. That's fantastic, buddy. Spectre the Gun did the Western trope so much better.
Yep.
Never was a big fan of Spectre the Gun, but I will agree with you. It's a far more imaginative idea for if you're going to have a Western story.
Yep.
Far more. Hungry Boy. Good to see you, Hungry Boy. D-. As a fan of Sergio Leone, he's got Leone on here, but either way, films since 1979, this ep made me wince harder than the mutant poodles of Ang Lee's Hulk. That's tough for me, man. Ang Lee's Hulk poodles have still got me wincing. Dear Lord, that's bad. Because those poodles were pretty terrible. I have nothing against poodles in real life, but they were pretty gamma-irradiated poodles fighting the Hulk. It's pretty weird. When that happened, I'm not making it
What?
up. Yeah, that horrible Ang Lee.
on the Clubhouse.
And that horrible Ang Lee. Yeah, we'll do that this week. It'll be funny. The horrible Ang Lee 2003 Hulk film. He doesn't fight super villains. Really, he fights gamma-irradiated poodles. Anyway, plot-wise, an embarrassment of riches was swapped for a confederacy of dunces. And Guts is here. Don't try to judge too many elements with a numb hand. See if there's one more by Hungry Boy. The Western stuff. It was like watching a 19-year-old TikToker attempting a one-person show tribute to the Wild Wild West while shaving the left side of their head. That is complicated and weird, and I like it for being just those things. Number one, we have our good friends, Enigmatic Drop Air, and our communications officer, Anti-Derivative Jill. So if you would be so kind as to do the honors.
Let's do it. Oh, Enigmatic Drop Bear is up first. Enigmatic Drop Bear is going to drop the mic tonight. I just know it. He's given us a three-parter here. He's given this one a C+. He says using data as a backup for some of the ship's systems is an interesting idea, and code bleed across the interface they developed was an intriguing side effect. Unfortunately, the story just wasn't that interesting, possibly because it substantially relied on a story conceived by a child with the incumbent colonist that implies. Spiner was adept at playing an ensemble of Data characters. The Madam Data was particularly amusing, and he did a good job of playing the Maleficent Frank Hollander. Yeah, I do. I really love him.
Spider is top notch. No question about it.
Hello,
Dynasty
beautiful.
Derivative Jill.
Yeah, she's got a 3-parter. She gives this one a B. She says they want to make Data a fail-safe backup system, like how they use Data to fix things in disaster. So it might have been a good idea, but it was wasted as a plot device for a malfunctioning holodeck. It's true.
Yep.
It's true. Again, we have Brent Spiner brilliantly performing multiple characters, and the series finds that Worf and Alexander could bond in the Old West, even though at first Worf tries to get out of it. Yes, he's so bad. He's the meanest dad ever. Hold on. Like, yeah, so mean to his son.
To be fair, Klingon dads are mean, aren't they? They're probably all mean, but go ahead.
Yeah, they're all mean.
Yep.
3 of 3. Mr. Barkley helped write the program. Yeah, I know you heard me shout that out. But he's not here. I know, I love. Wouldn't it have been great if Reg would have been there?
Mm-hmm.
He would have made it better. Yes, of course.
Automatically better episode.
Yeah. Even a huge holodeck fan like myself is getting a little tired of the safeties being off trope. Yeah. I agree. Like everyone, back Jill up on this. We're all sick and tired of it. I mean, you're just parading Brent Spiner in front of me so that I can see what an amazing actor he is. Why don't you give him something to sink his teeth into? Give him a good story.
Indeedishness. Pleasant Valley Picker says A-. Finally, a good episode. Was great fun. How can you not love it? And a Western featuring Data and Worf. I remember this was a good episode. Let's see.
Yeah. So Pleasant Valley Picker is closer to me than everyone else. He's giving it a much higher rating.
A lot of people are liking this. We're seeing a lot of high ratings. I haven't seen a bad one yet. The scene where Data was like Miss Kitty. Oh, the Miss Kitty and Gunsmoke was freaky but funny as hell. Spider made this. Overall, a good solid episode. I'm a sucker for westerns. A genre needs a revival. No, I love westerns. Data. Oh, sorry. Oops. I'm sorry.
Totally agree, BC.
Kal-El says, see, at this point, they just need to stop letting people run experiments on Data by connecting him to the Enterprise's computer, as well as shut down all the holodecks full of repairs. Or if you're running something like that, turn off the holodecks. I'm with you there. That'd probably be a good idea. Until further notice, the Wild West setting, as well as the humorous moments, made it watchable, though, and spared it from getting a lower rating. I like how Troy was wearing Briscoe's outfit. That was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Beacom says 104. As a guilty pleasure. The good Worf and Alexander Western homage, character interaction. The bad, the holodeck again. Yes, I'm with you. Imagine an aircraft carrier rec room video game that tried to kill people being allowed to remain. Or, more bad, season 2, Data, Dr. Maddox wants to explore your brain. Data, I resign.
Yep. Michael Beacom's always making those good points.
Did he have some more?
Yeah, Pleasant Valley Picker. I like westerns as well.
I think he had some more. How many did he have? That was 2, right?
I'm not sure.
There
are 18 left on deck.
Okay, that was 2. Was that 3 or 2?
I don't remember. I just looked for the numbers.
I found number 4 of his. Let's see. If we missed 3, let me know, Michael, because I am terrible with counting with numbers. Hell, machine I'm on now has 3 multiple terabyte backup drives. Full disclosure, I still love seeing Morph trying to get into the spirit of it. Or
Yeah.
Alexander, not a great dad, but he is trying. Look, he's a Klingon. Klingons are jackasses. He's trying to treat a kid. He's trying to be more of a human dad.
He's
And,
trying now. Yeah.
Yeah. If I missed that one, I apologize, Michael. If you can put that, if we can find it, we'll grab it though. I'm not sure what happened.
I'm gonna look for
If
him.
you see it, maybe I did 3 and maybe I did 4 and I can't remember. Seems like I didn't do 3, but I can't find it.
Lenny, I'll go check. Let me go check.
TMF says X5. X5. I gave this one an X because my original Google search of the episode had a misspelling and it was taken down and totally different genre film. Oh god, genre of film. I think he means film genre. Sorry. Good news is the FBI cleared me last week. Oh, dude, you are a mess, buddy.
Weird.
Let's see here. You, sir, are incorrigible. Toxic Mind Flu.
I love TMF.
X. Jesus. At least you give it a triple
I
X.
beg your pardon. I have to interrupt for very quickly. Folks, Eric K isn't here. I hope he's okay. I don't know who else is wrenching and if Chris is still here, but I think that Michael's comments actually got vaporized by the algorithm because the 2 of 4 happens at 10:28. There's nothing, and then at 10:29, I have 4 of 4. So I think it got vaporized. If you folks can find them, our wrenches, please let me know. But I don't. They're not on this side of.
Wow, and they usually keep the whole thing on this new StreamYards. So yes, if anyone knows how to grab that, appreciate that. Sorry,
Yes,
Michael.
please. Sorry,
It's
Michael.
doing YouTube doing something weird.
It's not here, sweetheart. If it were here, I promise I would highlight it.
Of course, he knows that. Anytime you get Worf in a Festus hat, yeah, he does look like Festus hat and a 6-shooter. You almost forget the Lazarus style mustache. Oh, geez. Toxic Man Flu, you're a mess. X7. I'm pretty sure the writer's room was watching one of those kids that seemed to be falling down wells in the Midwest during the 80s and 90s. I remember that. All right, let's see here. Max Redstone.
It's here now.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
It's here now, but it comes up at 10:38, and yeah, and he reposted it. But it's so weird that it got vaporized like that. I absolutely hate it when YouTube does that, or StreamYard, or whomever is doing that. They need to stop doing that. Anyway, go ahead, boss.
You got it? Okay,
Yeah,
there it is.
it's up
Okay, we'll
there.
go. It's a little out of order there, but we got it at least. Season 6, Jordy, let's experiment with plugging your brain directly into the main computer data. Sounds good. The ugly. When the hell did they forget about redundant backup?
Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly. It's
True.
let's see here. Max Redstone says B+. This was a semi-rehash of the Big Goodbye, but I love this episode for the data shenanigans. It's fun, even if it is cliche. Sadly, this is probably the best fathering we'll see from Worf. Wow.
Love you, Max.
Counselor Durango, nope. I guess we get to see Deanna suck at another occupation. It would have been more believable if she was one of the professional girls. Quite honestly, yes, but I'm with you there. I know what you mean. Wow.
Ouch.
Too bad they didn't show Worf's conversation with Mr. Barkley afterward, although the ending scene flying off into the sun is quite pleasing.
Yeah, and it makes me smile every time. I don't even know how many times I've watched this episode. As you all know, I watch it in chronological order every year. And I just love that scene.
Jill says she added this tap to her book about the Gene Dolgoff inspired holodeck thing. Cool.
Yep. Gene Dolgoff was a holodeck scientist. And
right.
So that's really cool, Jill.
Indeedishness. Phantom Outsider says, C, it was meh, but sorry, RM, Worf isn't the worst dad. That's Jack Crusher, who brought Wesley into the world and then accidentally died. He knew that he'd done that wasn't what he done that wasn't an accident. To borrow from the Dennis Leary movie, The Ref, Dr. Crusher, your husband isn't dead. He's hiding. Troy, as a gunslinger, pure fantasy, more interested in what Barkley programmed into the local brothel. Yeah.
That
Well,
does.
I'm with you there, dude. Let's see here. Cause he wants an inauthentic Western town. Also, Geordie again endangers the ship. Where's safety protocols, best practices. Nah, let's endanger the entire ship again.
It's true.
Toxic Man Flu says they should have called this Alexander falls down a well and maybe accidentally shoots Wesley and Mrs. Kitty Toe of the series and out of our misery. Wow.
Oh my god, that was so good.
I I am on my last legs here. Honestly, I'll take a few hours in an abandoned mine shaft to the last few Reba songs. Are you still there? Holy God!
Oh my
We're getting. I
God,
can't.
I
It's
love
hilarious that he's doing this from a Reba concert. That's just too
the
funny.
funniest person. He's the
That's-
funniest person.
You the man. Uh, LT says D plus Westerns and Trek don't usually mix. Not a big fan. Can't blame you, LT. Yeah,
I don't
hear
blame
you.
you for that. That's a fair comment. That's a fair comment. And the whole like Westworld thing, like, yeah, I can see how this would grate on people. I get it. I get it.
JT Kirk, 7 toggles of Data's off switch by P Hard.
Out of
Out of 10. Gates McFadden would have been much better for the Old West setting.
yeah.
Yeah, true. Where's Loxana? I shot the Mr. Woof, but I didn't shoot the deputy. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. Nice. Way
Hey,
done.
Rod Thunderheart!
Rod Thunderheart, what's up? It's good to see you, my friend. Welcome.
Hey,
welcome.
sweetness.
Hello there, buddy.
I just
Um,
kitty toe. I mean,
Hmm?
come on, TMF with the kitty toe. I mean, come on.
Indeedishness. Now for the caboose, our great engineer, the extraordinary Mark D with a C, says a C plus. Some fun moments, but another story with too many plot holes. They don't have a virtual sandbox OS to test the data interface. I guess they don't.
Operating system.
Didn't Jordy almost get everyone probed on the Enterprise not long ago with the sensor upgrade? When they realized the part of the computer running the holodeck is affected, they don't check to see if anyone is in the room. It's in the room, you should say. Inflection. Despite the Spiner, Worf, and Alexander are comedy gold. Despite this, I think, in this episode, and please don't tell anyone I acted like Troy in this episode. No, actually, like Troy in this episode. Well, I won't. You just told everyone.
No, I like that you're being honest, and I like that you have a dynamic response to the show, like that you actually care about it. When you're invested in it, these reactions, they're gonna be incongruent. If they're not incongruent, you're not being sincere. And I love that you're being sincere and honest. And there are things you like and things you don't. You're entitled to your own taste.
Power reserves are low, so going to podcast mode. Good night, everyone. Good night, buddy. Get some rest, man. I hope you're feeling better tomorrow.
Night, Mark.
Let's hang out tomorrow. Let us know if there's going to be a Sunday night geekery.
Yeah.
Hunger Boy says, I know here Kitty Toe in I guess I now hear Kitty Toe in 1998 Eric Cartman voice. Okay, there you go.
So funny.
Indeedishness. Well, are we ready, folks, for our final episode of the evening? Are we ready? Are we ready?
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Wolfie's got to go. I got to go to bed. Good night, everyone.
All right, Wolfie. Good night, sir.
Oh,
Thank you so much for being here. That hurt. That was painful. Thanks a lot, Wolfie. No. All right, everybody. I'm just teasing. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much, Wolfie, for being here, buddy. We really appreciate you, man. Are we ready for our final episode of the evening?
We ready.
All right, let's get this moving here. All right, folks. Our guest will announce this one for our final episode of this evening. We will. What was it again? A fistful of rascals. No, that's not. I'm sorry. True fist rascals. Oh, I got it. I'm sorry. Here we go. Quality of something. Life. That's it. Life. Life. Thank you all. Now let me go back to sleep. Thanks.
Somebody change his diaper, please.
All righty then. Let's roll. Quality of life. Number one. Roll with it. Make it so.
The Quality of Life. Directed by Johnny Fakies. Season 6, Episode 9. We all watched this for the very first time on November 16th, 1992. Let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'll be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. Please turn your... Oh, I have a message. Just wait. Oh, okay. Please turn your hymnal to page 284. I will be reading extemporaneously, so be kind. Dr. Farallon, the director of an orbital mining station, has created a computer tool she calls the Exocomp. The small mobile device can solve problems and replicate parts on its own as it deals with dangerous situations that might harm humanoids. But Data realizes that these machines are actually sentient, as alive as he himself is. Because no sentient being's life is worth more than another's, Data prevents Farallon from forcing the exocomps to participate in a hazardous rescue mission, even though the lives of Picard and LaForge are at stake. During TNG's 5th and 6th seasons, science consultant Naren Shankar was responsible for helping to fill in the tech blanks for the writers' scripts. Andre Boromis, who took over those chores in the 7th season when Shankar became a full-time story editor on the series. I always thought it was hilarious, notes Shankar, because everyone was way more concerned about being consistent with how the fake science worked than actually being faithful with how real science worked. The technobabble is one of the things that hasn't aged particularly well about the Next Generation. Shankar's first solo script for TNG contained quite a lot of technobabble, as, for example, in this conversation Data has with Dr. Farallon. Farallon, is it true that your computational speed is limited only by the physical separation of your positronic links? Data, actually, that's no longer the case. I recently converted my interlinked sequencer to asynchronous operation, which removed the performance constraint. Farallon, I see. But how did you resolve the signal fragmentation? Data, the interlinked sequencer is now bidirectional. It compensates for the asynchronous mode distortion arising from the resonant field. But beyond the technobabble, the script has a lot of heart, primarily exhibited by the episode's non-human character, Data, and to a lesser degree, the exocomps. The initial concept pitched by L.D. Scott triggered in-house conversations. Shankar says about, I need new glasses. Triggered in-house conversations, Shankar says, about artificial intelligence and what really defined something as a living being, even if it was a cybernetic organism. At what point would machine intelligence be described as, quote, alive? What we eventually arrived at is, it's when something develops a survival instinct, showing that it's afraid to die. I think that's a good measure. I think that's good criteria. And that's the point
Yeah.
where it decides that these widgets are a form of life that is worth saving. The subject, of course, has been broached in The Measure of a Man. Yeah, but then, we'll talk about that later. One of TNG's most acclaimed episodes. We were very conscious of that, acknowledges Shankar. And Data does bring that up, how Picard fought to preserve his status as a sentient being. So how could he not act on behalf of the exocomps? It was a logical conclusion, he points out. Those are nice moments with Data, when you can couch something emotional within the framework of a logical deduction. It becomes that much more moving for an android to make that kind of decision. And that is all the block text has to say about the quality of life What did you think of the coverage, and what did you think of the episode, boss?
Pretty interesting coverage with some couple of things we probably should address about it. But I got to tell you, I'm glad we haven't. Say what you want about the episode. I'm glad we have a science fiction story to talk about now.
Yeah,
I like this episode a lot. Always have.
me
I don't.
too.
I mean, I just after watching those three goofy point. I mean, say which even if they were entertaining, they were entertaining. This is what Star Trek is supposed to be doing, making you think about science fiction concepts and
That's
ideas.
right.
I like that this episode is about ideas. I was fascinating to me. I mean, is it measure of man quality or anything like that? The drama, maybe not, but it is similar along those lines. I would say that Picard would have more trouble because this thing didn't look anything like any kind of life form he'd ever seen. It looks like a machine, and whereas Data looks like a person, it doesn't. And I just love how much this episode challenges me and makes me think, yes, that just looks like it looks like a toaster. It looks like a ridiculous machine, but
Well,
it is
sounds
life.
like a toaster. We don't
Data-
want it to be a toaster. We don't need some BSG up in here.
I'm just saying, that's what my point is. This episode could have, this thing is easier to swallow when it looks like Data. When it looks like this, it's fascinating to me that it was Data that was the only one that was not seeing it as just a tool, because it was not. I mean, the whole argument was it a tool or it is a being? And again, wherever you come down on the argument, the fact that Star Trek is being Star Trek is what it's doing. This episode is being Star Trek by challenging you with ideas and making you think about things that you might not normally think about, or that, and it's just, I really like this episode. I love this episode, to be honest with you, because of how it's just there's nothing gimmicky about the writing or the drama. This is just, it does have to set up a bit of a dramatic situation toward the ends, so that, which is true, a bit of melodrama in terms of them being on the station and them having, life or death situation, which is fine, because without that, you won't really find out exactly what the exocoms are. Aside from that, though, it's just straightforward science fiction conversation and exchange of ideas. And I like that Data took a stance, and that at the end, Picard kind of saw how, yes, this was easy when I did it for Data because he looks like a person and he's my friend. Data did it for these beings that were totally unlike anything we'd ever experience, or at least I think, because it looks more like an awkward tool of some sort. So I love it.
Yep. It's weird, I often tell people that you're my Star Trek soulmate, and it's bizarre. Sometimes, oftentimes, you and I say things to one another, and we're thinking the exact same thing and using almost the identical diction, and we never discussed this beforehand, so it blows me away. And tonight, you're doing it again.
We've never discussed this one or any other episodes we ever
Wait
reviewed.
until you hear my note.
For those who don't know, folks, we know, and she's not kidding about that. We never talk about the episodes beforehand. Not even like, hey, that one sucked or that was great. We don't do that ever.
We don't do that ever. But here, you're almost word for word for me in my notes. Do you want to hear
Go
them?
for it with the notes, please.
It's going to freak you out. Not the first thing that I wrote, but the second thing I wrote. You'll be like, oh.
Go for it.
I love beards, and I think the opening scene is stupid and annoying. I love men, and I love beards.
Oh, they were talking about the beards at the at the poker table thingy.
Yeah, I hate that.
I got you.
That's an annoying scene. With the measure of a man, sentience has a face. The exocomps don't have a face. And the story plays out in a sooner in future of version of machine sentience and the rights of life. Inasmuch, this episode is true science fiction, true Star Trek, technological advances and creations with the potential for evolution and self-awareness. Here, we are seeing more of the first work of science fiction in a book, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus. This is true science fiction. This is true Star Trek, and I love it. And I love how we're going to grapple with technological advances and our creations, and how, like I said, they'll have the potential for evolution and possibly self-awareness. And this is the purpose of science fiction. I like this story. I always have. And then I put by disconnecting the program's pathways, they admit that the exocomps are sentient. It's a horrible admission. He does it right to Data's face. I do not blame Data. The Decker unit's solution is wonderful. I do have to give the Decker unit props here. I loved his solution. And I love that Picard reassures Data's moral and ethical convictions in the wrap up. So they have this conversation. But I also take exception with people who who say, "Oh, they already did this in A Measure of Man." No, they didn't. We need to continue this dialogue about technology, and in A Measure of the Man, we love Pinocchio. We're saving Pinocchio. Here, we're talking about something completely different, something without a face, and how far does that compassion and that understanding go? So I actually love this episode. It's one of my favorites. And that's all I have to say.
Well said. It's so different because these beings are they don't look like beings of any kind.
No,
Just like with the nanites, you can't see them.
no.
And with something that looks like a hologram, which was dealt with a lot later on Voyager, or something that looks like Data, which is something you can see that looks like people. This is, you don't look at that and think about life in any way. And again, so as I said, this is what Star Trek is supposed to be doing, folks. More, I mean, and it's something that got away from way too much on this show, but they did a really nice job of it with this one, and I really do love it as well.
How do you compassionate, this little robot? There's nothing to hug. It has no face.
Doesn't look cuddly or cute. I mean, it looks,
Yeah, and this is getting into Asimov territory. This is getting into Asimov, Gene Roddenberry territory, where you're actually being asked, if what reaches back doesn't have a face, what will you do? If what reaches back, you cannot compassionate it. Its visage, its countenance does not reveal these emotions, these micro expressions that we use to convey meaning and purpose and attitude and tone. What if all of that's missing? How far does your compassion go? Where is it? Is it still a person if you can't relate to its feelings? And so, in that way, this is a very profoundly excellent episode, and it's a big slap in the face. Because, of course, we just had 3 episodes where we're sort of dawdling around in the cloakroom, trying on other people's shoes and clothes and not really doing science fiction. And so here we are again, splash, a slap in the face. It's a big splash across your face.
Right.
Science fiction.
Star Trek should challenge us and make us think, make us ask. I mean, at its finest, Star Trek challenges us, sometimes makes us uncomfortable, and it always makes us think in this, and shows us an idea that you go, wow, that's an amazing idea that they're addressing. You don't get that on every show. Not every show is equipped to give that to you. So what is your rating of quality of life?
For me, for quality of life is an A.
I'm right there with you. I give it an A as well. I love it. I love it. Okay, the word is given, my dear friends. In the chat, if you would give us your ratings of a quality of life and any comments you may have, and I will read us a limerick from our great friend, the extraordinary Max Redstone.
And you're all going to hear me clicking in the background. I do apologize, but
That's okay.
I have to get your comments up on that marquee. That's my job. So if you hear your little clickety click, click,
No
click.
problem. Click away. Okay, the quality of life episode. Here we go. Data gets upset in the fountain beam's wake. He fights for the exocom's sake. It causes some strife, but he proves they're sentient life. But unlike Wesley's nanites, it wasn't one big mistake. Wow! Very. Because it's easy to poke fun of the crappy or silly ones. This is a really good one, and he did a brilliant job of making that one funny and relevant. That's masterful work right there, in my opinion.
This is why I'm encouraging him to publish them. Bossman, Andy Masterson just walked, the maker of Andy Masterson, he just walked through the door.
Hey, Andy Master, what's up, buddy? You got one. You got something highlighted for some reason. Oh, you may have did it by accident.
Only if
Okay.
the chat jumped. I don't think so.
Oh, it probably you got. Well, you had one of Kal-El's highlighted.
Oh no.
That's all right. It's good. It's good. We're
Yeah,
good.
it's jumping all over.
No, we got it. While you're doing that, I will get started. Rod Thunderheart with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. You were too kind, very generous of you. He says, "Hail, Clobby, First Officer Raquel Briggs. Let's see, a few bucks to keep the lights on. Sorry, but beyond my ST remembrance of Mexican Iron Man finished my book and loves it. Well, congratulations to you on that, sir. I really appreciate. If I don't have a link readily available, but you may, if anyone can find a link to the book, you may more than willing to or welcome to put it in there. So thank you, Rod Thunderheart. If you can send me a link on Twitter or something like that to where people can order your book, I'll put it in the chat. Anyway, thank you. Yes.
And just so you know, too, TMF, the very generous, kind, and hysterical TMF, has left you yet another gift. What a sweetheart of a human.
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you, TMF. Thank you so much. He says, "Oh, sweet Jesus, it's over after 2 encores of Fancy I'm Free." Oh boy, a man suffering should just needs all the relief he can get. Thank you, buddy.
He should just look into his wife's eyes right now and just look in your wife's eyes right now, TMF. Look at Mrs. TMF and say, "I'll never let you down."
I hope Mrs. TMF is having a wonderful time, though. And apparently she must be a fan if they're there. So I hope she's having a great time at it. Eric Carroll says, respect for sentient life is a fundamental principle of Star Trek. Agreed, Eric Carroll, rather. Agreed. Thank you so much. But what about Kal-El says, A+. This episode does a wonderful job of exploring the question of what qualifies as a sentient life form. Mm-hmm. Data's willingness to defend the exocoms when no one else would was very admirable. Mm-hmm. Agreed, buddy. As was the sacrifice of one of the exocoms to save the station, as well as the crew of the Enterprise. This is a stellar example of what Star Trek should do. I'm so with you. That's what it's all about with Star Trek. You know, the fluffy stuff. You know, if you had the majority of Trek should be this, then we don't mind the fluffy, even the silly stuff so much. But you got to earn it. Like I say, they don't earn it enough with stuff like this. It asks the difficult questions and lets the audience make up its mind. That is well said, sir. Let's see here. Max Redstone says, this is a fascinating further explanation of sentience and choice in advanced technology. The plot is made believable by being set in a dangerous environment of mine. In dangerous environment of mine, the story starts out as high stakes, which beautifully stages Data's unwillingness to value one life over another, even though the exocomps are 10,000% more charming than geriatrics should. Someone say you're ready for me? No, we're not ready. Go back. So sorry, he wasn't talking to you. Well, he was talking about you.
Somebody get that old man some applesauce so he'll be quiet.
I like applesauce. No, she didn't mean it. There's no applesauce here. Get it. Speaking of high stakes, Dr. Crusher, as a brunette, is about as risky as a holodeck gunfight. I'm disappointed that Riker couldn't push the limits a bit more. Make get a side shave at least. Yeah. Make him get a side shave at least, I guess. J.T. Kirk says, B, the mining technology did not only fail to levitate sufficient ore, but the plot as well. The AI learning concept can be done in software nearly instantly today. Not perfect, but enjoyable. Okay.
Nice. Great comments. Right. Thank you, JT.
Thank you, JT, as always. Hungry Boy says, A+, 104. When does something which can make decisions perceive a threat to others, then a threat to self? At that point, does flesh or not matter?
Ooh, great way of putting it.
See here. The fact that the exocomps are less sentient than Data doesn't matter. It's the potential of sentience which is at issue here.
Mm-hmm.
After previous, the Raspberry Cobbler eps, this was a return to form sci-fi wise. It
Yeah.
reminded me of an octopus sentience. Looks different. Looks different to us.
Yeah.
You
Crazy to
know?
watch them open up a jar when you seal them in a jar and they're like, no, I'm not going to die in this jar. And they will literally screw the lid off of the jar and run away from you. It really makes you wonder, do you ever want to eat that ever again? And I can honestly say no, hungry boy. That's a hard no for me.
I never have anyway. But several have been affirmed to have the memory sentience of human toddlers. Exocomps, albeit Kubrick looking, are thus alive for me. Indeedishness. Okay, let's see here. Pleasant Valley says, no memory of this. Sorry, I don't remember it. So no rating. Well, if you get a chance, check it out again, Pleasant. You might like it. I think it was just very interesting. I recommend it.
Mhm.
I don't do a lot of recommending around here, but I do recommend it. Michael Beacom says R. Rated R for regrettably. I've not seen this one in so long. I do not trust my recall, but checking the summary in TNG 365 and Memory Alpha, I do recall at least this being sci-fi. Miss Hard Sci-Fi. Yeah. Take a look at that one. Let us know what you think about that one, Michael.
Yeah.
And I think you might I'd be interested in your opinion of that one. Phantom Outsider says B. However, the two surviving exocomps should have been brought up on murder charges. They knew they'd need more power or more distribution of the absorbed energy. They could have easily replicated one, two. I'm not sure what you mean there. More units instead of okay. The two conspired to kill the third. Hopefully, if they aren't charged, they will find Wesley's nanobots and rid the universe of Wesley in God, as God intended. Okay.
I agree with what you're saying here, Phantom Outsider, but you've missed one very small detail, or perhaps you've forgotten about it. But they were each was individually asked specifically if they would be willing to sacrifice their lives to save everyone. So they were specifically asked. So the third was not coerced to die. It was not murdered. They were there of their own volition, and there was a full conversation about what would happen, and they came up with their own plan. Oh, Pleasant Valley Picker, you're leaving? Good night, sweetheart.
Well, have
Oh
a
yeah,
good one.
it's quite late where you are. It's after midnight. Go to sleep, honey.
Well, we have two wonderful ones up next. Two wonderful reviews next. We have our great friend Enigmatic Drop Bear, and of course our wonderful communications officer. So, number one, if you would be so kind as to do the honors,
Oh,
go
it's my
for it.
pleasure. These are two of my favorite people. It's my greatest pleasure. Oh, look, Enigmatic Drop Bear. He has left an Ash pick. He's given this one an A. He says, at last, we have a proper science fiction story developed using proper knowledge of Trek lore and the traits of TNG characters. I couldn't agree more. Nicely said.
Indeed. Oops.
It's okay.
Sorry.
2 of 5. Data confirms a new life created by an immensely intelligent, capable, and diligent, to the point of being dogmatic, female scientist and engineer, even though it was the 90s.
By the way, played by Ellen Bry, an actress I liked on the old Spider-Man TV show. No less. Go ahead.
The Tyron particle fountain was entirely believable as a concept for strip mining, yet pretty scary in terms of the damage it could cause. Agreed. The exocomps were a great innovation, if not somewhat reminiscent of Doctor Who's K9 or Star Wars R2D2 in their characterization.
Ah.
I kind of thought so too, with the little beeps and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. 5 of 5, not a problem with the story, but someone really needs to school Dr. Crusher in basic principles of probability. Her bet concerning beards was poorly conceived. Yeah, dumb. Men look good in beards. I like beards. What's wrong? Now we don't like people in beards? Come on.
She's just trying to get on the nerves of her
Mhm.
of her shipmates.
And also make them literally and figuratively wear their shame if they were walking around the ship beardless, right?
Yes,
That
yeah.
shows
She's trying to
so.
get them. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. Anti-derivative Jill has left an Esh pick. It's
Ash
a
pick from
six-parter.
Jill.
And everyone, look at this. She had a wonderful time watching this episode. She's gone full on nerd. A plus plus plus. Jill, I love this episode as well. She says, this is easily my favorite tonight because we are inventing robots today to reach areas we can't. For example, we have robots that can defuse bombs and find survivors in earthquakes. Anthropomorphizing technology is common among humans. So it follows naturally that Data would see this possibility even more strongly, given his mechanical nature. Dr. Farallon isn't a typical antagonist because she has respect for sapient technology like Data. So you aren't too frustrated when she considers her creations tools and can't see they're alive. Yeah, she's not like a raging, ignorant,
No.
arrogant person.
She didn't like a jerk off like Maddox was either.
Yeah, exactly. And self-satisfied and,
Yeah.
filled with hubris. 4 of 6. It can replicate tools. It makes sense. It can replicate and grows its own circuitry. It would seem, though, that these capabilities would require lots of power, but we don't see how this is done. Yeah, when do they charge up? Oh, boy. We're getting some from Phantom Outsider. Let me just click them, please. I don't want to lose my here. He's counting on me to find his stuff. So, okay, I don't see the other ones. Oh, I do. Oh, where's his one? Where's your? Oh, there it is. Is that the one? I'm just gonna click.
What happened?
I keep reading. All right. It also follows that if they have to make decisions, that they will learn, and by learning, develop a sense of their environment and even a sense of self preservation, if not sapience. 6 of 6. Data's perseverance in improving the exocomps as life form lends to a wonderful end where the exocomps are allowed to decide, reprogram the plans, make a sacrifice, and it is just beautiful. I agree.
Well done, Jill. Oh, we have more from okay.
No. You already read those. Let me unstar them. I just didn't want to lose his comments. But these just appeared, so I felt like I missed something. But I don't. Likely version replicator.
Well, it's confusing because sometimes instead of, like, for example, saying 1 of 4, he says 1 of 1, then 2 of 2. Then all of a sudden he goes 3 of 4, then 4 of 4.
Try
so
that.
I had no idea there was going to be 4.
Yeah, but those ones just appeared in my chat, so maybe my chat's off. But
No, it wasn't that.
He just posted those, boss.
It takes him a while. Yeah, I'm just saying. Sometimes he accidentally, I think, puts like one of, unless he just adds one later.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll put like 1 of 2, and then 2 of 2, and then he'll put 3 of 4, and then 4 of 4, like these. Anyway.
Boss man,
yes.
One of our good friends, Michael Beacom, he has to leave. He says, Raquel, I needed to leave 12 minutes ago. I'm calling it a night, but we'll be listening. Great chat as always. You guys rock. And excluding myself, don't say that. Your chat is gold standard. Honey, Michael Beacom, you're gold standard as well, my wonderful.
Big time, dude.
I have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for joining us. So delighted to have you here and to enjoy your company. So good to see you, Michael. And good night, my wonderful friend.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for being here, bro. We always appreciate you here, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. And I hope you get a chance to watch that episode and let us know what you think about it. The one that was chosen was likely a younger version and was unaware the replicator could have made more of them, and the older two were jealous of the younger, newer whippersnapper. If you let's see. if you exocomp logs,
If you look at the exocomp log.
if you I guess I meant if you look at the exocomp logs, it shows the unit that exploded was a Wesley unit. So maybe they knew it needed to die. So exocomps hate Wesley. Well, who doesn't?
Phantom Outsider's mind is a marvel. I love how he built a whole story. Love it so much, Phantom Outsider.
Some say his mind is a Marvel. I've heard others say his mind is a DC, but I'm not so sure. So, are we? I guess our good buddy Mark D with the C must have had to retire for the evening, so
He's quite
we don't have a
tired.
review from him. Our review. This now concludes our reviews of all 4 episodes, my friends. Let's see. Any finishing words for you, Poopy Stew, sir? I'd just like to say thank you all for being here tonight, and make sure you tune in every week to Star Trek. What's it called again? That show I'm on. I keep forgetting.
No.
I'm here. Yes. I'm looking at it now. Yes, I'm here. Make sure you tune in every week to Saturday night Star Trek. Still the Clubby and Raquel. Instead of watching that stupid filth, poopy stew trash. Obviously, I've already gotten paid, so I can admit it's crap right now. Good night, everyone. Make it soon, gang, guys.
Well, thank
Good
you
night.
so much for joining us, Poopy Stew.
Thank
and I'm
you,
so
Poopy
glad
Stewie.
that you finally got your diaper changed.
It's about damn time. Oh, right. Yes, next week, folks. Chain of Commands, Part 1 and 2. Ship in a Bottle and RAQUEL. So, where do we go? Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you, communications officer, the wonderful and extraordinary anti-derivative Jill, and thank you all so much for hanging with us tonight. Let's see. Show notes is I don't know what the hell I'm doing Monday night, but it'll be comic book related, and it will be open comics geek talk. Let's say think of some other spectacular title. I do think at some point Tuesday night, and I'm not sure exactly what time, I'll be on Loki's channel reviewing Superman Batman Apocalypse, the animated film.
Noise. That's what the
And,
cool kids say, right? Noise.
Noise. I think some would say that. Yes. So, until then, before we get out of here, I want to say that our wonderful, what a wonderful, crowd we had here tonight. As always, you guys have been amazing.
Mhm.
So, number one, I'll tell you what. Why don't we say our goodbyes, and then we'll, unless you got anything else to add, and we'll get out of here.
My Irish friend Eric saying, Raquel, did you see my comment at the beginning?
Beginning
No,
of what?
darling. What did you say, honey? Can you repost it?
Beginning of the tonight's show, you mean, Eric? Or
Yeah, I think he means at the beginning of tonight's show. That's how wonderful our chat is. Like everyone, they're actual friends, so they show up and they're like, "Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm good." It's
Did LT
great.
Did LT give us an opinion tonight? He may have already had to run.
Oh my goodness,
What?
Raquel! I purchased all of your stories on Amazon and I read
Oh.
your review. Fantastic! I'll get to the rest soon. Eric, thank you.
Wow.
Eric, I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. You have no idea how that makes me feel. That's so wonderful. Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. Absolutely, that's fantastic. Well done. Thank you so much, buddy. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just say our goodbyes then. I don't know. Let's see here. All right, I just want to make sure I was on. All right. Well, again, I was thinking LT didn't give us a review on that last one. He may have had to leave, and then we didn't want to say anything. We'll just do our shout outs, whether someone's here or not. Well, for example, the great Mark D with a C, which is we're welcome back. He is, of course, probably already headed out, but he's our great chief engineer. The wonderful anti-derivative Jill, thank you so much for being here. Our chief of
tonight, honey.
Indeed, as always, our chief of security, Lord Thoth.
Night, LT.
Our helm and navigation, the Felicianos, as Raymond. Sandra couldn't make it, but big shout out to, and Raymond had to go, and Sandra couldn't make it, but shout out to them.
Night, you.
Let's see here. Comic Relief Crusader, thank you.
Good night.
J-Man, thank you so much for being here. Buddy.
Follow J-Man.
Lake 7, bud. Phantom Outsider, thanks, bro, as always. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Let's see here. J25, thank you so much.
Such a good friend. Thank you for being here.
Mr. Angel Chef, thank you.
Have a good weekend.
The Catman, AKD BD Myers. Thank you.
Yay, Didi Myers and his lovely wife. Have a great weekend.
I don't know. You think we should make Max? Max is too. I can't think of what would be a good spot for the crew.
I
But
think that
he's
we
on the
should
crew.
make Max run 10 forward. Not only do I think that he would be a great counselor, but I like the fact that he would be in charge of the entertainment. So, he could get up every night. He could be our house act. So he could get up, he could read his limericks, and then
Okay.
anybody else who wants to get up and blow on their trombone, they can.
Max is the morale officer, basically.
Yeah, basically. But if he's in 10 forward, he's slinging food and drinks, and we can all have a good time. So, and Chef will come in there and he'll say to him, look, this is no good. This is good. This is no good. But I think Max can totally handle 10 forward. But it's up to Max.
That's up to Max if he wants a job like that. But anyway, he is a part of the crew either way. Max Redstone, thank you so much for your amazing contributions, buddy. You are too kind for those wonderful limericks, and they're just incredible.
Yeah.
I'm Ben Krieg from Sequest. He says, there you go. Thank you, buddy. Enigmatic Drop Bear. Thank you as always, my good friend. You're extraordinary and just amazing. Thank you so much.
You're such great company. You're so smart and so funny and so great to be around. And, you have made such great friends here. But, I really have to thank you for the effort that you put into the conversation here. You're really one of those magical people that helps bring this all together. So Enigmatic Drop Bear, I enjoy your company immensely. And I just want to thank you for your participation and just your wonderful conversation.
Michael Beacom, again, I think he had to run, but thanks. Shout out everyone, whether they're gone or not. We always make sure we give them the shout out because we never know exactly who's still there and who isn't. And we want it recorded that we acknowledge them. The great Kal-El, buddy, super duper, bud.
The real soup.
Pleasant Valley, thank you so much for being here tonight with us. Pleasant Valley picker that is. Snail Messiah, my friend, thank you so much.
Night, Snail.
The great Mr. Tickle Trunk, thank you for being here tonight, sir. Thank you.
Tickles. I'm sending tickles. I'm tickling you.
They call him Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete!
Scuba Pete, good to see you, my friend.
And Mrs. Scuba Pete!
And Mrs. Scuba Pete, of course. The wonderful Mrs. Scuba Pete is also here. Thank you, Mrs. Scuba Pete. It's so lovely to have you here. Eric Carroll, thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Outstanding comments and participation always, Eric Carroll. Thank you so much. And thank you for buying my stories.
Thank you so much for that, Eric Carroll. Appreciate you. JT Kirk, buddy.
Outstanding conversation tonight. I love your comments and all the thought that goes into all of your comments. Love you, JT. Good night.
Wolfie.
I already howled at the moon at him, and I made
Ow.
it sound like a wounded dog because he left early. Love you, Wolfie. Night.
Tyrell 72, thank you so much.
Night, Tyrell.
Hey, Scotty R37, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate you.
That's a cool cat. I like that guy.
Steve Mitchum, bro, if you're still out there, man, I hope you and Maddie are doing wonderful and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. You rock. Yeah. Apollome's Minion and
the pepperoni, the great truck dog, the legendary truck dog.
Good to see you there. Jobber, Just Joe, brother. All right, man. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah.
Chris Persia popped in earlier, the great master of the wrench Grenadier. Our buddy D-Bud. D-Bud, good to see you there, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, D-Bud. Bet he was wrenching tonight, too.
Of course. He's a great wrench.
That's another great conversationalist. Thank you, D-Bud.
He's a great one. Great fellow. Mr. Grant Gregory, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Good to see you there.
Nice.
Mazerus, thank you.
Hey, thanks for stopping in, my friend.
Monkey Jeebus.
Monkey Jeebus!
One of our other wonderful, great pals we made, been here just over the past couple months. Hungry Boy, brother, always just a wonderful pleasure and honor to have you here, bud. Lee Anthony Davis, thank you.
Good night.
Captain James C. Skywalker, thanks for popping in, buddy. Good to see you.
Good night. Good to see you.
Oh, man, here we go. Toxic Man Flu, the great TM. Thank you for all you do, buddy. We really appreciate you, and we're so glad your pain has abated for the evening.
You were so funny tonight. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I just want to say thank you so much for being so generous with Clubby and always being here to support the channel
Thank
and the
you.
show. We love you, TMF.
Cardinal Sin. Phil, buddy, appreciate you so much. Thank you for all your wonderful, generous contributions. They're very much appreciated, my friend. I don't know if you're hearing this, but thank you. Thank you so much.
Gil, you're a sweetheart. And not only do you support us with all these super chats, but you're always here to say nice things and to be kind to others and to stir up great conversations. So thank you for being here and have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you next week, I hope.
Larry.
Larry!
Thank you,
Larry!
Larry. Thanks for being here.
Reba Agonizer. Hungry Boy just put
Oh,
in the
Lord.
chat the Reba Agonizer.
That's bad. The Rebenizer. Pop Culture Republic. Thank you for being here.
Night Pop, thanks for being here.
Zacharot. Thank you, sir.
Night Zacharot.
Thank you, Mr. Rod Thunderheart, for popping in. We appreciate you, buddy.
Night Alberta.
Alberta, yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Let's see here. I'll see if he sent me that link. I don't think he got a chance to send me that link, but he'll send it at some point, I guess. I just want to make sure. Maybe he did. Oh, there he is. I'm going to put his link. I think he sent it to me.
Lovely.
I will get that. And
You can find Rod Thunderheart on Goodreads. And it's good to just tell people that because you can actually purchase directly through Goodreads. You don't even need the URL. That's the great thing.
oh, well, I put it in the link anyway. There's
Oh,
Rod's.
that's great. Yeah, but if
Sorry
you
about that,
don't
Rod. I
collect
was
the URL, I want you to know Rob Thunderheart. He lives in my province. He's a friend of mine, and he's an authorized author on like a checkmark author on Goodreads. Hey, Tim's Talk just walked through the door.
Hey, Tim's Talk. We're just getting out of here. I want to say thanks to the great Andy Masterson, buddy. Always a pleasure to see you pop in.
Master
And-
Maker. Good night, Andy.
Yep. And well, let's see. We're about to get out of here, folks. First of all, before I play our outro by our wonderful first officer, I want you to take a look at this. Well, play this video, of course, out. She has a wonderful, as has been mentioned, as Eric Kell just mentioned, a wonderful body of science fiction work that you can find. I'm going to put the link in there, but we also have a video for it, which I just love. I love this video that you made.
Thank you. It was
I've
your
gotta find it
idea.
for- yeah.
It was totally your idea.
Oh, pish. I don't remember that. Are you sure?
Yeah, it was 100% your idea.
Well, everyone, I'll play this out. Here's the link to Raquel's link right here in the description. I mean right here in the chat. Here's the video. So thank you all, everyone. I hope you'll stop by and see us. See me Monday, and of course next week, same Trek time, same Trek channel. Saturday night Star Trek. Good night, everyone, and please have a fantastic rest of your evening. Good night, folks. wife has been turned into a little girl. That means you could perfect for Picard season 3. You're a great character. Oh my God! Good night, everyone. Oh, that's so embarrassing. I hope no one heard that.
Miles,
Have you
are we getting a divorce?
Ah!